Hello and welcome back to Pact of the GM. We are back for episode 21. Who'd have ever thought we'd got there? We're almost halfway through a year's worth of episodes. That's exciting. We are gathered here today to celebrate a bit of D&D with a collection of unlovable misfits who have all sworn their souls to me, the GM. Now, we actually have every single player here this week, bar one. Still, unfortunately, not around. Travis Willingham has backed out again, we are to believe. It turns out that unfortunately he seems to have lost his arms. They have shrunk to a tiny size, and being bullied by his wife and infant child, it has been rumoured that he's elected not to leave his house until he makes enough gains to regrow his arms. We wish him luck in that endeavour, but we will play on without him tonight, and we will be picking up right from where we left off, and where that is, Gavin is going to sum up for us this week.
So, where we left off, we had just come back to New Haven after discovering the fate of Orello, and we were trying to bring together some kind of plan to figure out what Orello was doing there, what his connection to the cult was, and how we were going to basically get involved and find out some more information. We headed back to New Haven, as I said, and we knew that there was someone they were supposed to meet at the Western Gate, and after putting together some plan where I pretended to be Orello, we ended up staying there, and I kind of sidelined to go into this. I think it was like a club. Yeah, a club that I can't remember the name of. Something to do with dragons, I believe. We went in there, headed downstairs, where we discovered there was this group of people wearing some dragon insignia jackets that presumably worked for them, and after a little bit of me standing around and the others watching over me, basically, I finally ended up meeting this tabaxi woman upstairs who detailed the whole thing, me dressed as Orello the entire time. She gave us this map to a nearby temple, and we headed off to follow her. That night, we tried following her back the way later on that night, we tried following her on her way to this temple, but that didn't go too well. We were following along for the majority of the time, me and using the owl to follow behind, but they saw when they came to this abandoned shack and shot the owl out of the sky, and we had to quickly hide so we weren't entrapped by these thugs that came out of nowhere. But when we did go in finally, we found a trapdoor under a rug, and last thing we left off, we were just about to head through this trapdoor into this underground tunnel, and I think that was everything.
Yeah, a pretty good summary. Unfortunately, the name of the place didn't have anything to do with dragons. It was just called The Break.
My mistake.
But yeah, it was a pretty good summary. Certainly not a huge amount of action last session, just a lot of kind of role play and discussing the plan that you were going to take going forwards. But we are exactly where Gavin said we are, which is standing outside of, or standing just inside of, a fairly run-down looking hut. The place just decrepit and old and untended to, part of the ceiling having collapsed in, dirt and muck all over every surface, and this foul rug having been thrown back to reveal a trapdoor which creaked open, showing a set of steps leading down into a gloomy cave below. And we were just deciding to head off into that cave, I believe. So, are you guys just wandering straight down? Are we plug walking in? How are we getting there?
I think, how far down is it to the actual cave? Like, is it just a ladder going down and we can see the bottom, or is it quite deep?
It's a set of steps that are fairly steep. For those of you with dark vision, you can see roughly 60 feet is normally the average. You can see roughly about 50 feet down. The ground seems to level out slightly, but still heading in a downward trajectory. For those of you without dark vision, it descends, maybe 10, 15 feet, and then the lack of light means that it just kind of vanishes into darkness.
Brandon will make sure to get out his little lamp again, I think is 60 feet anyway, and point it down so he can see a bit better. Are you going down then?
Well, it's probably, best that Baron goes down first, being a big, strapping, tough lad he is. I'll go second, and, well, you lot can sort between yourselves.
Yeah, I'll watch the rear, I'm pretty good at watching the rear.
I guess so.
Wouldn't it make more sense if you went first, Douglas? Your people tend to be good with tunnels.
Yeah, you can see in the dark and stuff like that. I don't think old Smallsy here is very good at that.
I mean, it's a bit presumptuous. I mean, I'd argue racist, but I guess it's true. I mean, I'll go first if you really want, but...
It is true. I can't see very well in the dark at all, so...
Fine, I'll go first. And without much hesitation, he just heads towards the ladder, and sort of grabbing his axe, sort of keeping it in his hands. Still grabbing on this. What's it called? Do they call them spokes on a ladder? The individual sort of ledges. What are they
rungs.
Called? Rungs.
I mean, it's not a ladder because I said steps, but they're called rungs.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, there we go. You learn something new every day. Well, going down the steps, yeah, he'd take his axe in hand.
Okay, and who's following after Durgus?
Baron would follow after Durgus.
Next, and after Baron?
I'll go in the middle.
Okay, and then Geronimo, Natara. Is it Natara, then Geronimo at the rear? Or how are we organising you two?
Yeah, Natara can go after, and then Geronimo.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect. Okay, so the descent is fairly careful. You obviously don't want to slip, and the ground is certainly slippery. Illuminated by the lantern in Brannon's hand, you can see the light kind of playing off the water that seems to just coat every single surface. Descending down, the cavern is quite obviously naturally formed. There's no signs of this thing having been carved or cut out in any way. The only real sign of any kind of alteration is the steps you're on. And in fact, as you get to the bottom of them and the cavern goes further and widens out slightly, those steps and that stonework vanishes entirely, so that you are walking on what is just bare rock. Lichens and mosses cling to places. There's kind of climbing weeds moving up the side, and you can see cracks where they've begun to make inroads in degrading the rock around this opening. And as the level of the ground descends a little bit more slowly down here, you can see up ahead where the cavern eventually drops into what looks to be a large pool of water.
Does the pool seem pretty deep, or?
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I was just concerned, is it just kind of like ankle height? Or
No,
is
no,
it
no,
kind
no,
of
no.
the entire thing just descends into this pool?
No, so the tunnel kind of runs forward still at that kind of downward trajectory, and then suddenly drops. And as it drops, it clearly hits the waterline, where it just vanishes. So it looks like this part of the cavern has been submerged. The water is very dark and black. There's no sign of any kind of bottom, at least, that you can see even approaching it with the lantern. This thing just drops down.
Yeah, and I think Baron would first of all look around on the floor, maybe see if there's any debris or a small rock to grab a hold of.
Yeah, easy peasy. There'll be loads of them around.
Yeah, so with that, he'd hand it over towards Geronimo. Can you get this to light up? It seems to get pretty deep, so I can have a look around.
Geronimo, I think, briefly just went AFK, so we'll say that he casts his, whatever it's called. I can't remember what infusion. I can't remember what it is for an artificer. Tinkering. It's a tinkering.
Infusion,
Sorry,
yeah.
no, it's a tinkering. Yeah, so he tinkers with it briefly, and the rock is illuminated to cast some light out.
Yeah, and with that, I'm just seeing if I've got any rope left over. How far would you say the kind of drop is to the water itself?
As in through the water, or for you to get to it?
To get to it, yeah.
Oh, like the tunnel just runs along and gets lower until it hits the waterline. So you can go right up to the edge of the water. Hell, you can walk into it if you want to. There's nothing stopping you there. There's nothing in the tunnel for you to be on the lookout for. It just, go ahead into it.
Okay. Well, does anyone have any rope to maybe tie around me, just in case?
Just give me a second. And he sort of reaches to his back and pulls forwards the spool, which I think his is still 50 feet.
I think it was barons that had been cut up. So yeah.
It is. And he sort of just ties it quite firmly around the larger man.
Right. Well, keep a hold of this. If I tug it twice, pull me back through.
We know the drill.
Yeah, and with that, Baron will dive on into the water with the shiny rock in hand.
Fantastic. Do you have any water breathing? I can't remember. I know with the subclass you do.
Let me just find it.
No, I trust you. I didn't need to post it. I know you've got the swim speed. I didn't know if you've got the water breathing.
Yeah, it's swim speed and water breathing.
Perfect. Okay. In which case you drop in, and immediately that kind of freezing, drenched sensation strikes at your skin. The water is murky and quite filthy. but with the aid of the kind of shining rock, with your hands and with your seemingly unnatural yet innate abilities within the water, you manage to propel yourself quite quickly. In fact, for the rest of you, there is this kind of great splash as Baron goes in, and then a spurt of water as he actually manages to speed off far more quickly than you would expect of a man of his size. The tunnel descends downwards about as steeply as the steps had been before, about 30 feet or so, before leveling off at a straight section. Moving along, you begin to run into some of the fish, bugs, and muck that has fallen in and floating around. Some of it gets in your eyes, it stings a little, but the tunnel continues on for another 50 feet or so before rising up at about the same inclination that it had descended. Another 30 feet until eventually you see the top of the surface above. Unfortunately, it just kind of acts as this little panel of darkness. You can't really see much beyond the surface of the water, the light diffracting in refracting, in the way that it does. Are you just going to go kind of splash out on the surface, see what happens, or?
I mean, he's got the 50 feet of rope round him.
So in fact, you would have been pulled up before then, because it's 30 feet down. You would have got 20 feet along the tunnel.
Do you think from where he got to, he'd be able to tell that it kind of just goes straight on?
You'd be able to see with the rock in hand. I need to double check what the distance is on the light for that, because I don't think it's 60 like the bullseye lantern is. I think it's something like 10 or maybe even 20. So you'd be able to see that the tunnel goes on, but you wouldn't be able to see it rise up.
Are you talking about the Geronimo rock?
Yeah. If Geronimo had lit a rock up, what's the light distance on that?
I think it's... Oh, I need to double check.
I feel like it's only 10 or 20 because it's basically like the light spell.
Yeah, I think it might be 10 to be honest. Let me have a look.
That's fine. Unless it's basically like 60, it's not going to be enough for you to see the end of the tunnel. So with the extent of the rope as it is, you get to the point where you'd be able to illuminate and see that the tunnel does continue, but not where it goes up to. Sorry.
5 foot radius, an additional 5. Yeah, 10 feet, because it's a dim light, an additional 5 feet.
Yeah,
okay.
So.
Well, getting this far through the tunnel and kind of not sensing any kind of immediate danger, Baron's going to grab the rope that assumedly is being held by Durgus on the other side, and instead of pulling it twice, just trying to kind of pull it from his hands. So like one consistent tug instead of like jerks against it.
Okay, so for Durgus up above, who's holding the rope, who's kind of letting it slip through, Durgus is now at the very end of the rope, and you just suddenly feel this very heavy pull.
Yeah, and he sort of shifts his left foot forward to try and stop himself from being just jerked into the water. Before quite quickly turning his head. Did he say 1 or 2 pulls for blowing men?
I can't remember.
Right, well, is lost, and he just sort of lets the rope go, sort of splaying both hands out.
Well, you dropped it.
Maybe he wanted to go further. Well, he's been dragged away by a large shark. Either way, I'm sure he'll be back.
Well, pulled away by a large shark or not, what are you doing, Baron? Sorry.
I was about to say.
Yeah, he's just going to continue on through the tunnel then. Maybe kind of resurfacing, or at least trying to get a bit of a look around on the other side, but not kind of entirely coming out just yet.
Okay, so you kind of bring yourself up to the surface, break the surface gently, hold the rock out to see what you can see.
Yeah.
Okay, in which case, what I can do... I'm really clever. You currently have a rock that's, 5 and 5, isn't it? I think that's what Jake said.
I believe so.
That is, yeah. It's 5 bright, 5 dim. After that.
What I can do then, if I remember how to do it, Gavin, you might have to help me. If I just drag him from the players list, I can move him onto a board individually, can't I?
Yeah, you do the players in the bottom. It should just be able to drag him through. Or you can click on the map, then right-click on the name and say pull to the scene.
That should just bring Jared then. There you go.
Yep.
So, Baron, you emerge into what is definitely a much larger cavern. The light provided to you by the rock is honestly not great, and you can see around that you're in a little alcove that's kind of eroded out of the rock wall. Ahead of you, there seems to be a much larger opening. The chamber opens up slightly, but it's difficult to tell with the rock. the ground definitely rises up to a point where you could haul yourself up and out. So you'd be kind of up to maybe your calves, maybe knees in water, as opposed to swimming it as you currently are. But this seems to be a fairly submerged cave.
Okay. Again, not kind of seeing anything immediately threatening or worrying. I'll probably swim forward just a little bit more to see kind of how far it would be until they would be at a point where they'd be able to stand at least.
You would have been able to stand well before that.
Okay.
Roughly about there. I know for other people they can't see the board, but yeah, you go maybe 5 or so feet ahead, and then you can pull yourself up onto the walking ledge area.
Okay. Yeah, with that then, he will probably swim back to go and tell the others of what's on the other side.
Okay, before you go, could you give me a perception check, please?
Yes. That is a 12.
A 12. One moment. Okay. As you're heading back, you do kind of look around, listen as closely as you can, and from what you can tell, there's definitely the sound of things swimming here. Though given the depth of the water, the things that are swimming here would have to be small. Think small fish and stuff like that. Anything larger than a small dog would probably struggle here. But there definitely seems to be the sound of stuff swimming. There's definitely life here. But swim back is easy enough. I'm going to kind of just leave you on the board because why not? But swim back is easy enough, especially with your speed. And for the rest of you, it takes all of about, with his entire journey, probably about 1.5 minutes that Barrand is gone when the water bursts out and he comes crashing out of the water again.
Yeah, and first of all, stepping out, he'd untie the rope that was around him, quickly coiling it back up and handing it back over to Durgus. So there's a bit of a swim, but it does come up the other side. Just seems to be a straight cavern through.
Hey, what's a bit of a, well, how much do you call a bit? I mean, you seem to be sort of half dolphin.
Can you hold your breath or something? I mean, I'll be fine, but what about everybody else? Well, we got the hat still, don't we?
The hat,
yes.
The hat will no longer be doing its magics because Geronimo would have used more than whatever it is, 3 or 4 tinkerings by now. Like, he can do another one. It'll just like he gets to a limit and then he has to start stopping other ones to make new ones.
Well, I wouldn't consider it too far. If push comes to shove, I mean, Geronimo could just try and hold on to me, but I think everyone else should be okay.
Hey, well, I'm carrying quite a bit. Dwarves aren't necessarily the best of swimmers.
How would Baron be able to judge how long it might take for the rest of them to get through, or is that a bit too much?
Give me a... Ooh, that's a good... Let me look at your skills that are available. I would let you roll a survival, or a nature, or an athletics.
Ooh. Give me that athletics. 11.
With an 11, you think back to your time as to when you were a poor swimmer, and they definitely will be slower than you are. Maybe even half as much. So given that it would have taken you... It'll probably take them close to a minute. You reckon, roughly.
Okay. And he'd probably stand there for a minute, kind of deep in thought, scratching at his beard. Maybe a minute or two. How long can you all hold your breath?
I don't think people can hold it up to a minute.
No, I think we can manage a minute fine.
Hey, as long as you get quite a bit in your lungs. And, well, I'm sure Baron will sort of help drag us along.
Well, if necessary. How large is it down there? Because I could turn into a sea creature and perhaps drag somebody.
As big as you see here.
The tunnel is about 15 feet across.
Okay. Oh, that should be doable then if someone has problems, but if you say that's fine, then I don't need to. But the option's there.
Okay, so you guys have agreed you're going into the water?
Yeah. Brandon's going to
Fantastic.
start diving in.
Okay, could I please get athletics checks from everyone, please? And in case Geronimo isn't back, I'll roll for him.
Oh, I got minus.
I'm guessing
I was
I
a
don't
young
need to.
warthog.
How about
No.
acrobatics or
If you have a
survival?
swim, if you have a swim speed, I don't need one. So Baron, your roll's lovely, but we don't need it.
Actually, Fugma.
What about survival?
Luckily, it's
instead?
not
No,
that one.
survival's a wisdom thing. Athletics is the
Oh
physical.
shit! Sorry, I rolled it twice. Take the first
Why
one.
can't I use that acrobatics?
Oh my god.
Because acrobatics isn't to do. Oh, I hate you. Same person that argues that why can't I use athletics for falling off a building?
I'm using my strong athletic legs to land.
I should land like an Olympic gymnast.
Yeah.
Totally sturdy. Okay. So actually, you all make fairly good time and pace. The distance is difficult. As you pull yourselves under, you get that same. All of you get that same shock of water, and with the kind of baggage you're carrying, and with kind of cloaks and stuff billowing out and dragging you back, the going is slow. For all of you, it takes roughly a minute, and by the time that minute rolls around, your lungs are beginning to burn. However, about halfway along the route, you do notice that Geronimo is severely lacking behind. He's making maybe half the distance you guys are, and he already seems to be there's a little bit of shock and worry in his eyes as he continues to try and claw and just grab at the water as you're on your way. Instant responses. You can't communicate. Well,
Baron's going to swim over and try and help him.
so you're going to try and help him.
Yeah.
Okay, that puts you then on a half speed. So, if the rest of you see Baron returning to get a hold of Geronimo, are you going to carry on? Is anyone else going to stay behind? What's the response here? Because this will change your speeds up now. So you'll get to the point
How
where you
far
won't
away can we see where the water comes up so we can stop to breathe again?
No, not really. By the time you spot him, you'll be in the kind of lower section where it levels out and it rises up again before it hits that point. So there's actually a kind of sharp right angle turn, if you will, that stops you from being able to see. So for you guys, you just see more of the tunnel and then an upwards turn. You don't see where the exit actually is.
I think
In that
Durgus-
case,
sorry.
sorry, go ahead.
So I think Durgus would believe in Baron's abilities. You know, he's a very good swimmer from what they've seen. So I think he'd just continue on.
I think
Yeah,
Sarah
same
would do the
thing.
same.
Okay, so as I mentioned, for all of you, I will bring you all over now. I'll just activate it so we can all see. Bam. 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 For all of you, you managed to break the surface of this tunnel. Getting into it, I wouldn't move just yet. Please don't.
Sorry.
I put you in places for reasons. In fact, I'm going to be extra bad and just pause it.
Don't trust us.
And your lungs are burning and everything is clinging to you and you're sucking in these deep lungfuls of air. It's a tough swim. You guys aren't, at the edge of survival here, but that was a hard swim to get to this point. Geronimo, however, is much slower, as Baron, despite your ability at swimming, due to having to help Geronimo along, he is slowing you down. That would bring Geronimo to a minute at about halfway. So it takes him about a minute to get halfway, which is a lot slower than you would have wanted. Geronimo is seeming like he can go on further. However, given the time you've taken already, Baron, even with you helping, you may be pushing closer to 2 minutes before you get out of the water. Is there anything other than your help that you'd like to provide for Geronimo? He's kind of giving you a thumbs up, gesturing for you to go on, but you may wish to do something else.
Is he going to have to mouth Geronimo?
I mean, that's a decision that you have to take if that's
I don't
something
know
he's
if I
going to
wanna
do.
take
Give
this
that
decision.
boy the smooch of life, god damn it.
Right now, he's just gesturing thumbs up. He wants to go on, but you can tell he's struggling. He's even slower now than he was before.
I think what he'll do in that case then is, although he seems to be struggling, he's giving him the thumbs up of approval.
Mhm.
So I think for now, Baron will kind of just swim alongside him, and then when the panic really sets in, he'll try and just grab a hold of him and get going.
Okay. In which case, we'll make a Geronimo roll with advantage for your help. That is still not a great roll. He continues to struggle. And by the time you get to about the bottom of the area where the tunnel comes up, you can kind of see the dark blotted outlines of your friends above treading water. But Geronimo is now looking panicked and worried. His arms are flailing, his fingers are all spread. You can tell that his eyes are bulging out a bit. He's really struggling to keep going at this point now. 30 feet left to go until the surface.
Yeah. I don't know how drowning works in D&D. I don't know whether you just die or not.
You don't insta-die, but I also don't... I'm not using the standard D&D rules, because the standard D&D rules are awful.
Can we see them starting to come towards us?
Not really. Even with the lights that
we
you guys
wouldn't
are,
know.
even with the lights you guys have got, the water is very dark around you. And with the way light works through water, and with them being 30 feet below you, no, you've really got. Even if you like stare straight down, there's really it's just one dark shape amongst many.
Okay.
I think Durgus, like, literally just popping up to grab his breath and realizing that, you know, like, Baron and Geronimo were still down there, he'd once more try to sort of go beneath the surface, sort of paddling down to essentially try and drag and help however he can.
Okay. So you swim your way down. Baron, meanwhile, what are you up to?
He's gonna grab a hold of Geronimo and try and kind of tug him along.
Sorry. Okay, so if you are dragging Geronimo, Durgus is on his way down to help. Give me an athletics check each, please.
Each, okay.
Yes.
Can I use my inspiration?
And not after you've rolled, unless you want to take it for a reroll. You don't get the advantage, but you can get a reroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do it. Yeah.
Give me a reroll then, and that is the use of your inspiration.
Oh,
That's
17.
14 and 17. Okay. Geronimo makes it to the surface, and he bursts out with this almost squawk of his annoying voice, which I'm not going to do.
Do it.
No.
Sad.
With the support of Durgus and Baron either side of him. His eyes are bloodshot. His breath is coming in great gasps that he then splutters out as he begins to cough out some of the filthy water that you're currently all treading water in. In fact, I'll make him appear there as well. For that, I will give Geronimo a level of exhaustion.
Oh, shit.
Which right now just means he has disadvantage on ability checks. So it's not huge at the moment, but he will kind of splutter and struggle to get a few breaths in, making lots of noise as he does so, before eventually, after maybe 10 seconds or so, beginning to calm himself down as you settle to just sit in this small pool of water. For those of you that can see, I'll just double check. Or with those of you with light, because as I currently understand it, we have some dark vision in there, and we have the light that Baron is holding. Is there anyone other lights around?
I've got my 60-foot torch.
Your lantern is not going to go through the water.
Oh, are we still underwater?
Well, you went underwater. Did you... As in... Like, that's a waterlogged lantern.
I get that. Okay, doesn't matter.
Well, hang on. Why do you think the lantern should still work?
Well, it's, because it's just like you fill it with oil. I mean, yeah, it'll be wet, but I wouldn't have it lit when I went under, so I don't. It doesn't matter. It's it might be too wet to light, to be fair. So okay.
I guess that goes for my torch as well. Like, so I can't light it.
Oh, no. It's just more, do you still expect the lantern to be on, or are you going to relight it? Like, this is
It'll be a case of relighting it. Like I wouldn't have. I mean, yeah, like it would have gone out when I went under for sure.
Okay.
Because I've still got 3 hours of oil left. I have been counting.
Yeah, but you put them in at 1 hour intervals. That's fine. Give me a 1d20.
Okay, cool. 17.
Okay. Some of the oil is gone. Like with the water getting into these things aren't watertight, and even with the oil, not obviously with oil being waterphobic, it's still separate, but lots of it has leaked out. You are now down to what you reckon to be maybe 20 minutes of oil remaining.
Oh shit, okay.
But you could still light it again, though it would take you a few seconds of drying the wick out as best you can and stuff like that. The torches are a little bit harder. Again, you need to spend some time drying them out, because whilst they would still be able to be lit down the line, them getting waterlogged means that you can't just light them up again. So if you guys want to, you can clamber your way out, kind of sit down in the standing water and take some time to dry your stuff out. It's up to you. But for immediately, whilst you're sitting in the water and having done nothing, you can't just light them again.
No, not a problem. In that case, Brandon will slowly make his way forward, trying to stay like close to Baron's, so he's in the light. Oh yeah, we're paused, sorry. And looking around the Baron, go, can we see if we can find like a slightly more dry spot? I need to clean out the lantern.
We can have a look, but just be careful.
I know. Stay close. Don't worry. I can't see a thing, so I'm definitely staying close.
I can't really see anything.
It's more, I think, something swimming around, but it shouldn't be too big, so...
Hey, well, I don't see anything that way, so it says pointing left. That way, it says pointing straight on. Or that way, so, you know, at least immediately we seem safe-ish. I mean, there's nothing above the water.
I think for now, at least, we should just stick together, and then if something comes up, we'll deal with it.
Well,
which way are we
going
going then?
Right? Yeah, that's good. Let's go this way. He begins sort of paddling over towards the right. Just keeping an eye out, I said, for a more... Like, sorry, are we able to sort of stand up here, or is this still quite deep?
I think we're stood in it, but it's...
Don't keep moving forward. Stop moving forward.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So as you guys go forward about 5 or so feet, you reach the edge of the pool, or the deeper water which you were standing in, or swimming in. Pulling yourselves out, you manage to get to the standing water, which for those of you who are close to human size comes up to about the knees of the calf. For the dwarf, it's a little bit higher, going kind of middle of the thigh, and for Geronimo, it's up to about his waist. Because of this, anyone who doesn't have a swim speed is now at half movement. This is counted as difficult terrain. And as you veer off to the right, the obviously 10 feet of light that you get from the stone helps illuminate the sides of the cavern, which are still, again, these kind of naturally forming, gently eroded, slightly sparkling, wet rock surfaces covered with mosses, lichens, and other kind of small green growing things. For those of you with dark vision, which is Durgus and possibly Geronimo, yeah, Geronimo does, you can see slightly further into the gloom, though obviously outside of the 10 feet everything fades into shades of grey. The cavern seems to wind and turn, and there's multiple little cut-throughs and passes that seem to have gently eroded over time. Even as you begin to veer off to the right, you notice that the cavern kind of carries on, curves leftwards, and there's also seems to be another kind of smaller cavern that you might want to explore as well. But you guys are now standing on kind of a rock shelf, and certainly everything that you can see thus far looks to be waterlogged. And for now, just while you traverse through this area, if you can keep yourselves to about 10 feet of movement, and wait for other people to do stuff, just so I can keep up.
Well, that means we're going to be sprung trapped at some point. Right, it's fine. Obviously, coming to this sort of this area where they're actually able to stand, so it sort of spins around. Right, so what do you want to do? Sort of dry your things off?
At least the lantern, so I can see a bit better, and maybe it will help out some of the others as well. And you said it's like up to maybe just below just above my knees at the moment?
Yeah, for you as a kind of tallish human, yeah, it would be just below your knees.
Okay, cool. He's going to try his best to clean up the wick. Dry off the wick. I don't really have any magic I can really use to help that. So, other than firebolt, but I don't really think that applies.
No, not
Just
really.
Incinerate it.
Yeah, just keep throwing firebolt over the wick over and over again. Oh, someone's mic's just there. Yep, Gavin.
Sorry,
This is
that was
why
me.
we need prestidigitation, man. It's so useful.
Not for drying.
That's right, I can dry stuff.
No, you need like thaumaturgy for that.
I don't know.
Thaumaturgy can't.
No, thermaturgy doesn't create heat. Whatever. We haven't got anything. We haven't got anything right now.
Yeah. So he's just going to try and literally just the wick. So trying his best to like, I guess, rub it, try and squeeze out any moisture, that kind of thing.
Yep, give me a survival for that. Natara, are you trying to do what are you trying to do to dry your torches? Anything at all you could be doing, or are we... No idea. 6 on survival.
Yeah, not great.
I think Durgus would try to dry his as well, sort of just rubbing his hands against the edge, sort of squeezing it to rinse out from the sort of cloth which burns, giving it quite a firm blow.
Okay. You can give me a survival as well with disadvantage. With a 6 on survival, Brannon, you work the wick between your fingers, you kind of dry it out as best you can, but honestly, this thing isn't going to be drawing up oil anytime soon. It might... If you put some light to it, you might get a very, very slight sputtering flame, but it's not going to be much better than the 10 feet you have right now.
Okay, fair enough.
With a 12 on a survival from Durgus, you do well enough with the torch. The thing is still obviously soaked and drenched, but the cloth itself gets to a point of dampness where, with enough exposure to flame and heat, you may be able to get it to catch light for a little bit, but really... The life of the torches, just from what they've gone through, is going to be much reduced unless you can get them properly dried out. So they're probably usable, but they may last no longer than, say, a minute.
Yeah, and trying his best, he sort of huffs to himself. I've dried them the best I can, but, it's sort of damp down here. Don't really have any towels on me. Could last, a minute or so, but he's kind of been ruined.
Maybe we should just carry on moving, seeing if we can find somewhere dry. Maybe, if luck would have it, some torches.
Aye, well, we got the rock for now, and, me and Geronimo can, see relatively normally, so we'll be alright.
Geronimo, can you make more of them?
Before Geronimo has a chance to reply, I'm going to need, from everyone, an initiative roll.
Oh, God.
Yo!
No.
Oh, goodness.
No.
A 9.
It's fine.
I have not rolled above 10 this second so far. Let's keep it that way.
As we go to combat music. Let me check our combat tracker. Oh, I need to roll for Geronimo as well. Okay. Baron, you are set to go first. Good, because you got the same as the NPC roll. We start with Geronimo. Unfortunately, based on the roll they made for their stealth, you all count as being surprised right now. However, that means you can't do anything, so Geronimo's turn skipped, as is Brannon, as is Natara, as is Baron. However, that does mean now that your turn is over, the surprised thing is gone. Because suddenly, with great splashes from round the corner, there come 2 pairs of cultists. 5, 10, 15, 20. Up to there. That means that would be 20 to there. 25, 30. The 2 come from that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, up to about there. So they get to there. Can they do anything ranged? Not really. Okay, so from behind you there is the splashing of 2 cultists as they come charging around towards you. They kind of take some kind of cover behind some of the rock face that forms the cavern, and they move very, very quickly in the water, despite the fact that most of you, bar Baron, are actually slowed down by this high level of water. The 2 in front of you appear much closer and come from around the corner with daggers in hand, immediately stabbing them towards Durgus. And Durgus, they are going to make... You had your turn and we skipped it, didn't we? Oh no, you haven't gone, so you're still technically surprised. They get advantage.
I want to die.
That's how it be sometimes. That is a 16 to hit.
That does hit.
For 7 damage. and an 8 to hit with advantage.
That does not hit.
So as one of them stabs out towards you, you manage to kind of just jump out of the way in time, but with the second one coming from a slightly different angle, you're unable to avoid that one as it kind of cuts across the leather. Not particularly a deep wound, but definitely something you felt as you jerk away. We then go to your turn, which you're still surprised, so you can't do anything. So we go straight to the top of the round to Geronimo, who is no longer surprised. Geronimo, is Jake back? No, that's fine. We shall go to Geronimo. I shall play Geronimo out very quickly then. What do you think he'd do? What has he got? I forget what he... Oh, wait, he'd probably just use a... He is going to...
If tank's waterproof or
yeah, tank will be waterproof. Tank will be waterproof. So yeah, that's sure. Let's say it's his action to put tank down. In what form do we want tank? Let's put him in... Let's put him in healing form. As he goes there, and he then spends his bonus action to make him fire out 10 points of healing. So everyone when I say everyone, 5, 10, everyone bar Durgus can have 10 points of temporary hit points.
One bar the person being wailed on.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Unfortunately, that's just how it be sometimes. And that will be Geronimo's turn as he drops tank down, and tank fires off a aura of that healing light energy. We then move on to Brannon, who has just been invigorated, but you can definitely tell from behind you there are another set of cultists approaching.
Okay, he can't see shit in that way, so he's going to quickly make his way through over to here, and then cast Mage Armor on himself.
Okay, Mage Armor is cast as that shimmering blue light begins to surround you.
And that's all he can do at the moment.
Okay, in which case we then move on to Natara.
Natara is just going to straight up throw down a moonbeam.
Whereabouts?
I'll drop it. 1 sec.
Perfect. Right there. So that's DC 14 con save from both of them. Normal. Let me just double check what their thing does. That's fine. So they definitely both failed. That was a 1 and a 4. And so just immediately as this beam of light seems to descend almost from the ceiling, their skin and flesh begins to ash and then burn and peel away as both of them are reduced to skeletons. Dead.
Wait, what? I one-shot them?
Yes.
Nice.
I think you guys overestimated how strong cultists are. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, she's going to stand there a bit stunned. Goes, well, that was a bit unexpected.
Well, as you stand there and say that, we go to Baron, who can hear the other pair of cultists approaching from the rear.
With that, Baron is going to take a few steps back. Damn, look, there's a fella.
Mm-hmm. There is a fella.
He's going to go at him with the great axe.
Roll those dice.
For 17 to hit.
17 to hit absolutely will, and with 16 max damage, I mean, yep. Dead. Just cut down into, barely got to swing his dagger. The one behind, still looking definitely assured of himself for attacking. The body language suggesting he's going to go for you, Barrett. But on his lonesome, yeah, he's not looking too good.
Yeah, and I think not kind of breaking out into a rage as of yet. Baron's just going to kind of try and hold his ground against the other cultist if he comes at him.
Well, the other cultist is going to do that as he steps forward. Oh, some severe lag on my PC for some reason. Let's check if I've not got anything going on in the background. As he goes forward, he is going to make an attack, and he will roll a nat 1. So perhaps having seen his friend die and no longer hearing the combat from up ahead, he's feeling a little bit unsure of himself, and he almost slips slightly in the water as the dagger is just thrown out in your direction. You're easily able to parry it with the a haft of the great axe, as that is literally his turn over. Durgus, they're both dead. They came around the corner, tried to stab at you, caught you unawares, and then just burned to ashy death in the moonlight. but from behind you now, you can hear the combat between Baron and others.
Wow. Well, I think Durgus, realizing that we're now in the den of the enemy, sort of points down, let's say, to just to his left, that bit there, as he calls out for his new lifelong magical companion, Pudge, trying to summon him for an action, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course. You can put Pudge wherever you like.
Hell yeah, you know what, he'll be right there. And I think Durgus will sort of awkwardly step over him as he begins to move.
Remember, you're at half movement.
I am at half movement, so I
You're going
can't
through
do
the
shit.
water. So if you've got a movement of 25, we round down into
Yeah.
So it goes to 10.
I see how it is. Well, he'd awkwardly sort of waddle over and around Pudge. Come on, Spotty, get them! He says as he, I think he comes here, and then seeing, well, one dude who's been completely eviscerated, extends out a pointer. But bloody bite his socks off! He says towards Pudge. Use my bonus action to give him a bit of a command to go and bite this bastard's socks off, if that's alright.
You can absolutely do that, and even with his half movement, he's there, so make your attack with Pudge.
I've lost my about to do this now. Do this, and then I click the roll button. Well, that's...
9?
Yeah.
No, unfortunately,
never mind.
unfortunately, his socks are underwater, and Pudge seems to take you quite literally as he begins to bite down at the water where his feet are, and the man is able to quickly step away, moving a little bit more deftly through the water than you would expect.
Ooh. Well, that's me.
As we go on to Geronimo, who has returned, I believe, and has put down Tank, which has currently pumped out 10 temporary hit points for everyone.
Wow, Geronimo is so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got one dude alive.
Yeah, there's one of the 4 still left standing.
One of the 4 still left standing. I had 3... Okay, Geronimo is going to... How does that guy look, by the way?
The one that's still standing?
Yeah.
Untouched.
Untouched? Oh, fuck, no, I can't. I'm going to kill Pudge if I do this. How tall is he?
How tall is who?
Pudge.
He's a small creature, so he's about the same size as you.
Could I shoot something over him?
You can, but that counts as cover. Though I don't do the whole if there's cover, you might shoot Pudge. Like, he did basically just the enemy gets cover. There's no chance of you shooting Pudge.
Okay, and I can only move half, right?
You have half movement and rounded down.
Rounded down?
Yep.
What's half of 25?
12.5, rounded down is 10.
10, okay. Alright, yeah, Geronimo's gonna move to there. Okay. Looking at the ground, he picks up a little pebble and is going to fire a catapult.
Go for it. That's a dexterity saving throw, I think.
I believe.
Post that one for me.
I'll post it.
Yeah.
I'll cast it anyway, but then, yeah.
Well, no, post it first, because catapult, because it's based... just click the dice for the spell. Because catapult's a saving throw, and it specifies something about hitting targets that are in the way, so you may Pudge here.
Okay, I won't, I think that's fine.
Post the spell first, and I'll see what it says.
Yeah.
Stopping, so yeah, it goes in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction you choose before falling to the run. Stopping early if it impacts against a solid surface. If the object would strike a creature, this would hit Pudge. Because you don't pick a target, you make a straight line attack.
Okay, so I'm not going to do that.
That's fine, yeah. Sorry, that was, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Let me think. I don't really have anything else. I guess I'm just going to firebolt it. Fuck it. Let's just go. He's going to pick up his little thingy-majiggy, his little tinker's tools, and waggle it at the guy that's still left and go, eat fire! And then he's going to shoot this firebolt. Okay.
A 21 will definitely hit.
Yeah. So
4 isn't a huge amount of damage, but there will be a nice big kind of singe around the chest, revealing very pale, bloated flesh underneath, which scorches and darkens. He's still standing, but a solid hit.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the end of my turn.
Okay, we go to Brannon.
Okay, Brandon's going to try and move forward into the light so he can see something. I guess, yeah, since it's the last one, he'll throw a firebolt as well.
Roll away. Oh.
Nat 20.
It's a nat 20, and the 5 is just enough. with another bolt of fire, this one aimed more for the head. It kind of catches under the mask, you hear a shriek of pain, and then the body falls back limp, splashing into the water, as all 4 are defeated. And that brings combat to an end.
For now.
You read my mind. The cavern falls quiet as the last enemy is slew. The beam of light eventually dissipates, and you're left standing, breathing perhaps slightly hard, but really just warmed up, having faced these rather pathetic enemies. What would you like to do now?
Baron would probably look over to everyone. Well, they know we're here, so I don't think we have much more time to wait around. We should get moving.
Geronimo's going to try and search a couple of them, see if there's anything useful on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Digging through the pockets, give me an investigation check.
An investigation.
Can I help with that?
You can, yeah. You can do it with advantage.
Oh! Okay, investigation with advantage. Oh. 13.
13. You give them a thorough pat over. You're pretty sure they're not hiding anything. As you pull out pockets, check kind of in the folds of the robes. Other than the dagger each of them was carrying, which seems to be nothing special, they seem to be carrying nothing else, as if their job here was just to attack you.
Huh. That can't be right. There's no way they're just here to attack us, thinks Geronimo. No, I'm kidding.
That was the internal monologue again.
No. Yeah, he kind of like passes him down and kind of looks at the others and shrugs. Like, there's nothing there.
Actually, checking over, since Brandon's helping, so probably checking over a couple himself, would he notice any like mutations like the fish stuff, like the mollusks or anything like that we saw in the others?
Pulling up the robes and looking them over, their skin is definitely pale, and here and there's kind of limpets and mollusks that have clutched to their skin. But whatever kind of changes these people were under, they were in the early stages of it. They're still very obviously humanoid. There's a couple of elves, one a dwarf and one a human, and they're still quite clear as to what race they belong to.
Okay.
Certainly they haven't changed too much.
Okay. These must be dregs, I guess, so keep moving. Hope they don't more. There's no more.
Yeah, I think Durgus hearing that sort of gives a curt nod. Well, it depends which way we're going to move. We could go the way we're going, or, where those people tried to flank us.
I think they definitely, at least one of the two ways that they came from seems probable, so...
Well, more of us are this way, so, and he begins just sort of skirting round, sort of his fat feet sloshing in the water as he sort of whistles, and Pudge comes with him. As, he just tries to press on forwards this way, drawing... Let's go for his longsword, actually. You can draw his longsword.
Okay.
As he moves
just
forward.
stick yourself to about 10 feet of movement.
Yep.
Just so I can keep an eye on where you're moving to. Okay, feel free to move a little bit further. That's all good. Okay. So, moving up together as a party, I shall assume Geronimo's sticking with you. Using the light to keep you covered, you step more towards the center of this cavernous complex, this maze of different tunnels. And as you do so, you begin to notice that the walls around you are beginning to become covered, whilst still in the kind of grime and flora and fauna that grows on the surface of caves. You also notice that there are sections here where there have been the attention of some hands of some sort. Places where there are drawings of what look to be tentacled creatures moving between more humanoid races, seemingly picking people out at random as if choosing them for some kind of ritual or selection. At least that's what the predominant iconography, at least in this area, is. A number of different tunnels appear for you to take. Everyone give me a perception check, please.
Come on.
Oof.
8.
All below 10.
I got a...
25.
Never mind.
Natara's feeling pretty good, but Geronimo is.
I got
struggling.
Geronimo gouged his
Blind as
eyes
a
out.
bat.
Yeah, blind as a bat. You're all listening out, but over the sound of the water moving and your own sloshing feet, there's not a huge amount to pick out for most of you. Natara, you're more at home, and certainly in this environment, than the others, and you manage to kind of differentiate between some of the sounds, especially those closer and those further away. From what you can tell, very, very, very faintly, but echoing down from roughly up ahead, north on the board, if we're doing directions, there sounds to be some kind of conversation. There's talking, but it's so faint, it's barely a buzz, but it's just recognizable as some kind of conversation.
Okay. Guys, I can hear someone talking up ahead.
Hey, which way?
She'll point to the direction which you can hear it, which is north.
Well,
North.
Ronan, you're a bit of a stealthy bugger, why don't you know? Go check it out.
I can't see a thing down here. I can try, but Geronimo, you can do magical things with objects. Can you give someone some dark vision or some light that someone won't see?
I can give them the stone, so they can see, but I don't think I can give them dark vision. Let me just ponder real quick, just to see if I can find anything in my head that can help that. But
maybe another stone. Can you do a second?
how many have I got up now? I've got one. He kind of looks around to see if anyone else has got.
No, I think it's just the one.
There's just the one stone at the moment, though you also have the effect that's currently working on the boy.
I can have up to 4, I think.
Yeah,
So,
so you're only up to 2 at the moment.
Okay, yeah, he nods and picks up another stone and kind of taps it with the tinkering tools and hands it, like, just holds his hand out. It's like, yeah, I can make another, but, and if I do another one, I'm at my limit, okay? Otherwise, our little illusion's going to start to disappear.
Well, if you can give me the stone for now, I'll just go check, come back, and I'll keep quiet, and hopefully... And Brandon's going to hold the stone and kind of try and reduce the light so he can still see, but it's not like as obvious, and there's not like this bright light around him. Is that possible?
You're trying to, so you're making light that you're then trying to reduce.
Yeah, so like a beer, like putting it under a piece of cloth, like maybe in his house or something, so it's not quite as powerful.
I mean, that's just going to reduce the light you have to see with.
Yeah, I guess.
If you're willing to, like, because essentially that's counterintuitive. If you want to have light to see, that's fine. But if you're then covering the light so it's not visible, you're blocking the light. So it then
Not
doesn't...
visible, not visible. Just doesn't matter. He'll just carry on.
No, that's fine. I'll let you do it. I'll just change it to half. You'll have 5 feet of dim light. So you can have 5 feet of dim light, or you can take the full brightness.
I'll take 5 feet dim light.
Okay.
Just more so he can just see where he's stepping.
That's fine.
Okay, and it was north, wasn't it?
That was the direction Atara pointed to.
Okay.
Okay. So you're beginning to sneak off, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. In which case, give me a stealth check. Those are 2 very good stealth checks. In fact, hunkering yourself down and moving as slowly as possible, you make very, very little noise in the water whatsoever as you begin to just scamper off, kind of slowly. The rest of you see Brannon as he lowers himself down and moves off. Anything you guys are up to?
Yeah, Geronimo looks at the other and goes, "Whoa, Hetzi just disappeared. It's like he became one with the shadows. Is he some sort of ninja?"
I thought those bookish
The
types meant
darkness
to be quite...
I'm sorry, you're going to have to say that again when you're not both speaking at the same time.
I'm going to wait for her to speak and speak over her again.
I just said that the darkness helps.
Oh, you mean like he was kind of born in the darkness? You know,
No,
the darkness is...
I can't see anything outside this little circle of light.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I can. Me and old Captain here can.
Whilst you have this terrible conversation of talking over each other and referencing the worst of the 3 Batman movies,
Murdered by.
Braddon, you continue off into the dark and very quickly realise that you're going to stand still for a second while I narrate.
No worries.
That you're pretty much wandering mostly blind. The caverns are clearly winding, and in places they get very wide, and even as you move through the water silently, there are points where you just wander into cave walls, or you wander one way and realize, oh, this is a dead end, and you have to veer off. You're really kind of marching just vaguely in a direction. This is obviously very disconcerting, and whilst you are concealing the light, you haven't made it invisible. And so obviously there would be a danger there of being spotted if there are other things looking for you. You're welcome to carry on going, though. I just want to make you aware of those things.
He's going to hold up there for now because he's gone a bit north of where they were, and just slowly, trying to settle and be quiet. Hopefully the water settles with him, that kind of thing. Going to listen in, see if he can hear that conversation that Natara was talking about.
Sure, give me a perception check. With a 5, you can hear the conversation that they're having behind you as your party argues about talking over each other. Like, it's still difficult to hear, but they're standing still. There's nothing else really moving around you, especially with you falling still as well. And so their conversation is just about audible, but you can't hear whatever it was that Natara was hearing.
Okay, he's going to take a couple steps more.
Okay, you kind of follow the wall out as it seems to open up into just an open floor.
Seeing that he can't really tell how far it goes, he's just going to head back there.
Okay, before you do that, I'm going to need you to stand still.
Okay.
And I am going to need you to give me... Okay. I'm going to need... what's your passive perception?
My passive is 9.
9.
Yep. No one see me, and I don't see no one.
Well, it's your lucky day. 4. I've got to do lots of measuring and stuff here. Because as you turn around, ready to make your way back, you're still very quiet and you're still listening out. You suddenly hear a slight splash from behind you, as if someone has just trodden into perhaps a part of the ground, which was a little bit deeper than they expected. The splash is sudden. It seems to echo almost just in the quiet of everything else, and eventually settles again. But someone was definitely moving through the water somewhere nearby.
Hearing that, he's going to immediately drop silent and actually fully cover the light, so the light just goes out, just putting it in his pocket or something.
Okay, so I shall turn your light out.
And he's just going to listen in again, see if he can hear anything like breathing or anything like that.
Okay, so as your light goes out, you're left in pitch blackness. And you said you're dropping down low, you're trying to hide, aren't you?
You're trying to hide and trying to listen in.
Give me another stealth check with advantage.
Jesus Christ.
You remain totally silent. You remain very still, and don't worry, I'm not taking 9 as your current stealth roll. I'm going between 26 and the 9.
Okay.
You listen out closely. You stay very low to the ground, hunkering slightly against the stone. And there's a few moments where nothing happens. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to need you to roll me an initiative.
Shit. Oh, shit.
That's not what that should be called. Damn tokens with wrong names. Okay. We go back to combat.
Like you say.
So obviously I'm just quiet, so what?
You're surprised because you have no idea this is coming. However, surprise then ends at the end of your turn, or at the end of your turn there, and so from the darkness, you don't even see it, but some things suddenly come charging towards you. You just hear the noise as they make the final sprint towards you. From out of the darkness, you hear the swish of a blade very quickly. 1, 2, 3. That is a 22, a 23, and a 9.
The 9 doesn't hit.
That's fine. So we have 5 damage from the first slash, 4 from the second, and then the final one kind of goes over your head, as if they expect you to come up towards them. Seeing as you don't, they manage to avoid it. As we go over to another creature, which seems much lower down, almost at the same height you are, as this thing launches itself towards you and rolls a natural 20.
Fucking hell.
Dealing 14 points of damage as
Jesus.
these vicious teeth come clamping down onto your arm.
Clamping down as in holding me?
No, you are released. But immediately there is blood in the water. You can feel it running down your sleeve. You've taken 2 solid slashes with what you assume is a long blade, and then this thing has bitten you very deeply with these razor-sharp fangs. We go round to your turn.
Okay, he's going to stand up, pulling... I don't know if it's an action to pull out my light.
I'm going to assume nothing for the stand-up because you were crouched, not prone, and drawing an item is your free item interaction.
Okay, perfect. So pull out the light fully so he can see.
Okay, hang on 1 second. So you now have 10 of the dim and 5 of the bright. As the stone appears, you see to your left the pale white haired tabaxi staring at you with these narrowed yellow eyes, whilst off to the right, this dragon-like creature, almost very similar to Pudge, but more lithe and slim, and not shifting chromatically, but instead a kind of radiant emerald blue, is snarling as it hops around in the water very quietly. These things face you and they are right up in your grill.
Okay. He is then going to bonus action disengage and just sprint. So using his action to death.
Okay, so you get the full 30 as a movement.
35 for me.
Yes.
There.
Okay, and is that your turn?
I'm trying to think if I can do anything else at all.
I can think of something you can do.
Oh, no, I've used my bonus action, can't hide. I can't think of anything. I haven't got any action, bonus action or anything.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
In which case...
Oh, he's going to use his free action to scream
There
help.
we go.
There we go.
There it is.
Thank God.
The rest of you just hear this kind of gentle splashing from up ahead, a little bit louder splashing, and then suddenly Brannon screaming, help, as I will now throw you all onto the turn order.
Oh God, I'm done.
Yes.
Give those 2 there. Yes.
Yes.
There we go. Please roll initiative.
I've rolled well for once. Come on, boy.
Oh, I rolled badly.
Beginning of a new age.
no.
The double 5. You guys can decide who's going first. Will it be Baron or Geronimo?
Baron.
Baron?
Aye.
That's fine. In which case we go to round number 2 and we actually start with Durgus. Durgus, you heard screaming from up ahead, north of your position.
Right. I think Durgus would sort of whistle to Pudge to follow in his steps, as he is going to... First, I'll move the 10 feet, see if I can see anything. And if he can't, which he can't see shit, I think he's going to dash with his action. Wait, sorry, just give me a second. I've got to make sure I'm not leaving Pudge in the dirt. Oh, he's got fucking 13 feet.
I'll keep Pudge up with you.
Yeah.
He is half speeded as well, however.
Yeah, I figured. Well, he can basically fucking move the same I can, so...
Yeah.
So yeah, I think... Yep, he'd keep on going the extra 10 feet. You know, let's move both of them like that.
Perfect.
And he still can't see shit. I think he'd, getting to this point, he'd sort of pull his hand axe into his right hand, his long sword in his left, as he sort of calls out, "Brandon, where the bloody hell are you?"
You just hear I'm coming!
Marco! Polo!
Quite literally.
When you get
For
in-
you,
Sorry.
yeah, for you, the direction roughly you can tell appears to be slightly ahead of you and just off to the right. So pretty much where you pinged is roughly the direction the voice seems to be coming from. Okay, anything else?
I've used my action. Bonus action I haven't done, but I don't really think I can do anything with it. Give me a second. Ooh, wait. I think... Yeah, no, he would, bonus action. Speak the dwarvish words for entangling vine. As I'd like to try and cast Ensnaring Strike. Just to sort of prepare it. Vine spilling up and over his throwing axe in preparation to try and apprehend whoever's chasing after Baron.
Okay, and that will affect on the next attack you hit with.
Yeah. I'm just casting it just in case. There we go.
No problem, I'm going to take that
There you
damage roll though. As we go round to the next turn, Brandon, we're actually going to skip you because you would have been you were the top of this round for them, so you got to act kind of before they did. So we go straight to Natara.
Yeah, Natara's gonna make her way up. She get like here, and then realize she can't actually see. So she turns around and looks. We gotta move up as a group. I can't see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
You can prepare an action to.
Okay, so.
Oh wait, no, you've already moved your movement. Yeah,
I
you can't.
moved
As a. Yeah, but that would take you to, with the halved speed. You can move one more square at most.
Yeah.
So if you prepare an action, you can prepare it to move a square if you get more space.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Could you also not prepare to dash as well?
No, you can't prepare to dash.
No, okay.
Because the action... No, you prepare to take an action, or you prepare to move. You can't do both. And since dash kind of is both, I'd need to check it. I don't have the rule to hand, so we're going to say no for now, just because, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So 5 more feet in the case that you get more distance ahead from someone moving. Okay, well, meanwhile, from round the corner comes running, seemingly unhindered by the water. It's almost like this is their lair. Uh, 10, 15, yep. They come running around the corner. Up comes the tabaxi. Right up behind you as, again, the slash of what you can see now is a long scimitar. Twice across you with the stab of a dagger afterwards. That is a 24 to hit, an 18 to hit, and a 19 to hit.
All three.
First one is for 9 damage. The second one's for 9 damage.
Yeah, I'm down.
So, with the 2 strikes of the scimitar, Brannon is taken down. We'll put you on unconscious. The dagger is not jammed into your now prone body. Instead, the attack will just automatically miss. As the tabaxis actually move their full movement. And so she snarls, looking up at where she can hear the sound of approaching booty steps. As we go to Barrand.
Hearing the distressed call from Brannon, Barrand is going to run.
Right.
And then is going to use his action to dash. And that's gonna be it.
Okay, Natara, just briefly, I let your prepared action kick in at that because the light did move forward, so I let you move your 5 more feet. However, you've now been left in darkness.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I've already moved you your 5 feet. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. And Baron, as you turn the corner, you see this tabaxi standing over the prone form of Brannon. Some great slashes across his back, bearing his flesh through the cloth that he wears there.
Time to slap up this cat.
Well, you do that on next turn as we go to Geronimo.
Okay, Geronimo, first thing, he's going to pick up the tank into his hands.
Okay, that's your item interaction.
That's
Tank
my
now
item
moves with you.
Tank now moves with me. And I can move 10 feet, right?
10 feet.
Hell yeah. So I'm going to move there. And then I'm a dash.
Okay.
That's another 10 feet.
That's another 10 feet.
Hell yeah, dude. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Slowly
I'm
but
there.
surely.
Short club.
Yeah, slowly but surely you waddle your way through the water. Natara, you can just hear everyone running past you.
Tara's just standing there, not being able to
Oh,
see.
she led in the darkness.
As a free action, Geronimo is going to be like, oh, towards Natara to try and like help her find the way.
Echolocation, I hate it.
Really high pitched squeaks.
Yeah. Anything else for your turn there, Geronimo?
Ah, no, that's it, I think. Oh, Eldon, has everyone got temporary hit points? Still.
Yes, I believe so.
I think.
Zergus never got any. He was out of range.
No,
Doug,
I
isn't
did. The second time I did.
Oh, there was a second time?
Have you got some?
I thought it was the second time. He's used
No,
the.
no, there wasn't.
Well, I don't have any then, apparently.
Okay, then bonus action, we're going to use tank. To
Roll away.
fire off some life-giving, lovey-jubby stuff. 7.
7.
That's fine.
Hell
That's
yeah,
at
tank.
least one hit from the enemy.
Okay, with that happening as well, there is yet more splashing.
Oh,
As a terrible scuttling creature comes round the corner, Mr. Baron.
I can take him.
You say that, but a creature, as I mentioned before, very similar to Pudge, comes rocketing round just beside, down by the legs of the tabaxi, lunging towards you as it tries to bite you.
I can take him. Trust.
With a 13, I think you can. 13 to
No.
hit won't do it, so as it kind of lunges up towards you, you backhand it away, forcing it to kind of reverse and rear back against the cave wall as it prepares to look for another opening to strike.
Animal
As we go
abuse.
to the, as we go to the top of the round with Durgus.
man, I think seeing some sort of vile, evil version of Pudge coming up and sort of snacking on Baron's legs, Durgus is going to press the assault. Let's move. I can only move 10 feet. This actually sucks so much. Why am I stuck to both? I think he would move here. Oh, he can just see her. Okay, thank God. And then, God, Pudge is 13 feet, which means he can only move 15, right? Oh, God, I hate rough
Pudge
terrain.
has 40 feet movement, I
Oh,
believe.
does he? Okay.
I believe so, so I think he gets 20 in this map.
Ooh. Well, if that's the case, I mean, he still can't go anywhere, but he's going to move up to try and sort of get beside.
Oh no, he does only have 30 feet, never mind, I take it back. He's only got 3 squares.
I swear I swear at some point he had 40 feet.
I
and
thought
that's
he had
just-
40. I'll go in.
Yeah.
I'll go in. I'll check the sheet. You stick with 30 for now, and if he has an extra 5, I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's fine. Either way, he'll move the 15 up to besides Durgus. He'll move that extra 5 if he gets it. And Durgus, just seeing the edge of this cat lady, would take his throwing axe, covered in these strange vines, and of course, seeing her standing over the corpse of Brannon, he'd feel the rage coursing through him, and he lets the axe fly. I'd like to try and make an attack, if that's right, Alex.
Of course it is. Also just checked, and Pudge does have 40. I think when I changed between the sheets, it might have reset it, but he has got 40, so
Ooh,
he's an
no.
extra 5 feet if you want it.
Yeah, well, he move up besides Baron's then. So it'll go
Okay.
there.
And your axe is being thrown at who? Sorry.
It'd be thrown at the. Ooh. Give me a second. Do I want a hunter's mark first? That might be a shout. Wait, it's. I can't tell on these sheets what is concentration and what is not. I don't know if I can do ensnaring strike and hunter's mark at the same time.
I don't think Hunter's Mark's concentration.
Is it not?
It
don't
is,
think
because
so.
it has a big capital C next to it. And so does ensnaring strike.
Oh, okay, that's where it is. So I wasn't entirely sure.
Yeah,
until
the
you
big
said-
capital C is what makes it a concentration.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, he wouldn't really ensnaring strike as he tries to lash out and come on, give it to me. Let's go for just a roll.
This is at the Tabaxi, yes?
Yep, Tabaxi.
Okay, the Tabaxi does have half or 3/4 cover, because I can see your vision, and that token is mostly covered. Giving them a +5 to AC. However, even with a 23, that will not do it, and so, guided by the dwarven gods, the axe will spin through the air as it hits the kind of right shoulder of the tabaxi, just as she begins to almost run forwards again, dealing the 12 points of damage plus the 2 from your ensnaring strike.
It's 2 from the ensnaring
Which
strike.
brings it down to 51, and then it's a DC what saving throw?
It is a DC 12. I'd also like to use Pudge's reaction, the infused strike. Let's go for lightning, because we're in water, which gives me an extra 1d6.
So roll your d6 for the damage, and I'll do the strength save for them.
There you go.
The strength save will fail, and the 3 extra damage will go... Okay. So the axe hits, explodes with this kind of spark of lightning before it vanishes and pops back into your hand. Meanwhile, the vines do extend, wrapping around the body of the tabaxi and actually binding her to the ground as she begins to grunt and pull at the weeds, doing her best to try and tug them off, but to no avail. She is currently... Is it restrained for ensnaring strike?
I think it is restrained.
She is restrained, and 1d6 at the start of each of its turns, and it has to make the save as an action.
Yes.
That's fine. Okay. So, anything else for your turn?
I think that's me.
Brandon, I need a death saving throw and a 2d6 roll, please.
2d6.
Yes, please.
Where's the 2d6?
D6 is 7. You are battered. You have a level of exhaustion that will not go away until you treat your battered. 5 is also a fail. So 1 fail down, and you are now on 1 level of exhaustion.
Yeah, you got that.
Meanwhile, we go to Natara. Natara, you have been left quite literally in the dark.
Yep. So she's gonna follow her ears because she can't see anything at all.
Somewhere up ahead of you, slightly
Somewhere
to the
up
left.
ahead. Yeah.
Gonna be moving a square at a time.
Yep. So she's gonna. Well, she'll. Can I dash as well? Can I move
Sure.
15 and then dash another
Yeah.
15? Okay.
Yeah, so you've got a movement of
that's
30.
there.
That's 10. You can't stop there because you bump into Geronimo. Okay, there you go.
I guess she accidentally crashes into Geronimo then.
Yeah, one more square of movement, please, just to finish that first move out of Geronimo. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Geronimo, you just feel as Natara blindly suddenly bashes into you, swinging her arms around as she desperately tries to find her way forwards. That's the first 15. And now apparently we're in
spins.
Mario. I hate
Oh
it.
my god.
You have another 15 feet of movement, Natara.
Okay, so she's gonna carry on.
That's 5.
1, 2.
You should now be able to actually see.
Yeah, she can see like there's a gap though.
No, that's because there's no light in that area, but you can see where the light is. So
Yeah, so she can finally see them. She goes, "Don't run away from those who can't see in the dark."
It betrays.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah,
Had to be done.
that's it.
action.
Well, I'll move up to-
pressing.
I can move
You've got one more
more
square. Yeah, you've got one more square.
punch there.
Okay. As we go to the Tabaxi's turn, who please roll me a 1d6, Baron, Durga, sorry, as that's damage done by your...
It's a sexy 2.
Another 2 points of damage as the vines
Hell
are
yeah.
still very thorny, and the creature will try and break free. And with a nat 1, it certainly won't. It remains stuck. And that's its action. Nothing it can really do with a reaction or bonus action, so that is the end of the Tabaxi's turn. Baron.
Grumbling a little to Natara's comment, Baron is going to continue to step on forward with the light. Wedging himself against the wall next to unconscious Brannon, he's going to build himself up into a rage before swinging his axe towards the beta Pudge. For a nat 1.
And that one most certainly will fail.
Classic.
Oh no.
Casual. The average Pudge fan versus the Chad Pudge enjoyer.
Yeah, apparently so, but that will unfortunately miss as you enter your rage. Anything else?
That's gonna be it.
So, spinning like a Beyblade with your axe, we go to Geronimo.
Okay, we go to Geronimo. Alright, I guess we've got another 10 I'm gonna have to dash again. I'm gonna go. No, yeah, I'm gonna have to go there. Fuck it. We'll go there. Now, how far, realistically, do you think I could throw Tank?
Tank?
Yeah. Like if I threw him a square and then could
20 feet? 20 feet.
I could throw him 20 feet?
Yeah, why not?
Like a Pokeball?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he'd be slightly larger than a Pokeball, but he's not much heavier than a pistol. And the normal like throw for like a dagger and stuff like that is about 20 feet. So let's say 20 feet.
Okay, Geronimo gets there, seeing that Brannon is hurt on the ground. He's gonna grab Tank and go, Tank, I choose you, and he's gonna throw him out 20 feet there.
Okay, so he's gonna land there.
Yeah, and does he also have movement restricted?
Is he movement restricted? Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Okay, so if his main number is 15,
that goes to 7.5, which is then rounded down to 5. Yeah.
Okay, he's going to move 5 for some unknown reason, and he's going to pulsate with the support stuff and try and help bring Brannon back from at least stabilize him. So let's see what I get. That.
I mean, Baron, you can turn your temp into 8 if you'd like to. Otherwise, Brannon, you are stable.
Woo!
Because there is a pulsate of healing energies. Your wounds knit together just enough to stop you bleeding out in the water.
I'm still unconscious though, aren't I?
Yeah. Maybe you roll
cool.
Maybe you roll onto your back, so you're not just drowning as you lie there.
It's so true, actually. He's like face down in the water.
I'm just kind of floating on top of the water.
Yeah. You were face down a moment ago, but Tank didn't actually heal you. He just rolled you over onto your back. Anything
That's why
else?
I have to get closer. I'm in range now. I'm in range now. Okay. That's technically a straight line that isn't into Natara, right?
Yeah, Natara's square is not highlighted, so that's fine.
Okay, catapult time. He's going to pick up a little pebble, and he's going to chuck that bad boy at the fake pudge.
Okay.
I will cast... Do I only have the first level? Let's go. For, 10 bludgeoning, I guess.
Unfortunately, the creature shifts with a 19 on its dex save, and the rock will clatter against the stone and blow apart into shrapnel-y pieces, not hitting the wormling.
Oh, damn. Well, I guess that's the end of my turn, then.
It is indeed, as we go on to the wormling itself, which is going to turn around, see how people are arraying themselves, and decide, hey, this is a pretty good time to do a dragon thing.
No.
Yeah. As it... okay. We're seeing how it wants to get people. It's probably going to go that way. Yeah, okay. So it breathes out a terrible wave of dark energy, which just seems to roll towards you in this smoky black cloud. And I'm going to need Natara and Geronimo to give me dex saving throws, please. With an 18, you pass Natara, and so as the black smoke kind of runs over your arm, you quickly pull it back. But even then, you're not quick enough to avoid the boils and pustules that seem to almost burn up on your skin as this necrotic cloud of energy deals 10 points of damage to you.
Whoa, okay.
Which I think
was half, that wasn't it?
That was, as I believe that should just wipe out your temper points.
Yeah.
Geronimo, you unfortunately are not so quick, and you take a full just blow to the face of this smoke as it comes rushing over you, burning at your skin. You suck some of it in even though you don't mean to, and it just immediately fills you with this deathly sense in your lungs, as you are going to take 21 points of damage.
Holy shit.
But that will be this creature's turn as we go back up to Durgus.
That was not nice.
Right. I think Durgus, seeing this thing sort of spill out this vile, almost noxious black gas, realizes, despite being so small, almost like his best friend the entire Will Pudge, he can punch a bit above his weight. So I think he gestured forwards with his hand towards the thing. Come on, Pudge, let's mess that bloody thing up. As I'd like to bonus action. Actually, let's just move Pudge behind it. Can he move there? Behind it, like sort of tucking into that corner?
No, that square is too small, I'm afraid.
Ah, shug. Well, no flanking for me, I guess. Oh, no, I can go here. Oh, wait, can I go there? Why am I so small, man? Having 25 feet actually goddamn sucks. Oh, screw it. Pudge will move here-ish, and Durgus here-ish. Why not? I'm getting up to here. I think... Screw it. Pudge will do his little bite first. Will a 22 hit?
A 22 will, as will a 24, as you are flanking, so you get the +2. But you will hit with a 22, and so we will do 3 points of damage from the bite, plus the 2 for the lightning. I'm just going to double check if there's any...
It is something.
Lightning? Well, you've already declared it's lightning, and it has to stay the same. Let me just double check if there's any... Nope, nothing there you need to worry about, and that's all good. Okay, yeah, so a few sparks come off of the teeth as it lashes down onto this dragon, or this wormling, which spins and hisses at Pudge, the stockier of the two.
Yeah, I think Durgus then raises his longsword. I'm trying to remember how this works. Can he, what's it, versatile, where you sort of have it in two hands? That's what it's called?
Versatile is attacking with two hands, yes. However, you can't do that because you have an axe in one hand.
Can he just drop the axe?
Of course you can.
Yeah, he dropped the axe.
If he drops the axe, will it not just teleport back to his hand?
I need to double check that now. Could you post your tinkering thing for me? I need to. If it's based on attacks, if it just says anytime it leaves your hand,
can
it
he
comes
sheath it?
That would be an item interaction which you haven't used yet. So you could put it away. Yes.
Just sheath it. Stick it back in its little dingly do. As he takes his long sword in both hands and tries to whack at this big old beastie boy.
Whack away. You do get a +2 because it is flanked.
Oh, nice. So let's just do a attack.
21 definitely hits. Or 23, sorry, yeah. 23 definitely hits. So I need you to...
damage. Let's
1d10 plus your strength.
1d10. So that's 11.
11 is a big boy damage.
Plus, let's use little Pudge's lightning Magoo in a few strikes, which is an extra 1d6.
Yep, that's your reaction.
Yep, that's his reaction. That's just a 4. There we go.
The creature is barely holding together. The sword slash was enough to kind of cut it down the side, revealing ribs and flesh, which begin to tense and spurt blood out into the water as the lightning shock seems to just deepen and darken the wound. It's hissing and growling, but its eyes are becoming faint, not the glowing red orbs that they were before. Still alive, but only just. Anything else?
I think Durgus would just call out, I don't really know what this bloody thing is, so let's just, knock it unconscious, not kill it.
Well, as you say that, we go to Brandon, who is unconscious, but not drowning, as we go to Natara.
Yes, hello. She will, since Durgus says, let's try not to kill it, he assumes it was about the dragon thingy, Pudge thingy, right?
You have absolutely no idea.
No, because my food just got it.
Well, he didn't say, he just said let's try not to kill it.
Okay, so she will use Thorn Whip.
On
the Pudge-looking thingy-majiggy.
Okay. Even with the flanking bonus, that will not hit.
Okay.
As you kind of strike out with the whip, it cracks into the water as the thing reflexively just jerks away.
Yeah, and Durgus sort of dodges the side. Oi!
Well,
Anything
sorry.
else?
But no, that's it.
Okay. Another d6, please, Durgus. She's still trapped in the vines.
I think this is the most ensnaring strikes ever paid off, he says, already ruining his chances of ever doing good.
She will
So
break
two.
free this time. But she will take the 2 damage as she then spends her action to get free and comes running forwards. 5. She can't actually go through tank, so she has to stop there.
Better not attack tank. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
So he holds up to his name.
let's find out as we go to Baron.
He's got 20 AC though, to
Well,
be fair.
Seeing
It's 18
the
AC.
Tabaxi
Oh, yeah,
moving
18,
up
sorry.
towards him, Baron's going to turn and this time swing his axe towards them instead.
Ooh, intriguing.
We'll go for a reckless as well.
Oh, he's crazy.
Yeah,
With
I'm
advantage.
seeing- Let's go. Probably wasn't needed.
24? Check her reactions. Okay, that's not going to do anything. Yeah, you're going to hit her for 8 damage, which becomes 11 with rage.
Yep.
So she'll take that, and she'll take another 3 damage. So another solid hit against the Tabaxi. This one striking into more the rib section. You don't quite get through the leather armor. It's still just about holding together. However, she seems to kind of back away winded, letting out this great gasp as the sword and the dagger come down to just knock the axe away.
Nice. And that'll be his turn.
1 turn over, another begins. Geronimo.
Okay, what to do? Let me have a look. Spellbook. Do I have anything? Okay. I think Geronimo. What looks more worse for wear, the wormling or the?
Absolutely the wormling. It's looking on death's doorstep.
Okay, Geronimo's gonna charge up his firebolt, and he's gonna go for non-lethal damage. He wants to knock it out with the kind of just like a splurge of energy from the firebolt.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling for a 12.
12, even with the +2, it's not going to do it. So unfortunately the thing will dodge and dive out of the way of that one as well. This wormling is a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and
least at the end.
he's gonna move 10 feet over here.
Nicely sidestepped around Atara. Anything else?
I can't bring Hatsu up with temporary hit points, can I?
No.
No.
Wait,
Okay.
no, I've allowed it before, but if within a minute he's not given normal hit points, he will collapse again.
Yeah, maybe I don't do that. Okay, yeah, Tank is gonna stay where he is. I'm not in range of him, am I? I'm not, no. Okay, never mind. No, I'm gonna keep.
Okay, well, we go to the wormling's turn then. As it's not feeling too good, Mr. Stark, it is going to step down. Try and avoid that flanking Madoodly. Before snapping out towards Baron, who unfortunately has left himself wildly open, thanks
What a
to
fool.
his reckless assault, which will allow a 19 to hit, dealing 5 points of damage. So I think that still keeps you well within your happy health.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
This thing ain't making a dent.
And it needs to make a 1d6 roll very quickly.
Oh.
Okay. And we go on to the top of the round. And as we hit the top of the round, a new challenger approaches.
Oh, fuck.
And it's going right after Durgus.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Durgus, it's your turn, and you can hear more creatures approaching. You can't see them, but they're coming towards you.
Alright. Okay. Oh, when you said coming after Durgus, I thought like they were just gonna fucking spring out the walls at me this time. No, that's fine. Okay.
And they're not coming out of the woodwork.
They're coming out the goddamn walls. Right. I think Durgus. To be a gamey bastard, do I technically get flanking because of tank? I forgot how flanking works.
No, tank doesn't count as a creature, so you can't get flanking off them.
How dare you? That's tankist. Well, either way, I think Durgus would shift
Why don't you
on
move down?
Yeah, he's going to shift on down here,
That's a
raising his blade. If fact, I think he's gonna sort of gesture first to Pudge. Bloody smack it silly! He sort of cries out as he orders Pudge to. I don't know if you'd let like a non-lethal bite, maybe sort of reflavor it as like a whack of the tail or something.
Yeah, I'd allow you to reflavor it like that.
Sure.
That's fine.
There we go. Ooh, 17?
A 17 will hit, and so the creature is knocked unconscious by the strike of Pudge.
Epic.
Knocked to the ground.
Well, I think if that's the case, Durgus would shift his blade into one hand. I don't know how this is going to work. And then, because I've got the thrown weapon fighting feature, I draw the weapon. I don't know if this actually works. I draw the weapon when I use it, essentially, like a throwing one.
You can draw a weapon that's a thrown property as part of the attack you make with the weapon. Yes, you basically don't need to draw the weapon, you just make the attack and the weapon is drawn at the same time.
So he's going to pull forwards his trusty Axaroo. And how bad is the woman looking?
She's taken a couple of heavy hits. She's slower on her feet, but you haven't yet drawn blood.
Okay, if that's the case, he's going to launch it forwards with the best of his abilities. Let's go for a boit.
Again, she's kind of got half cover there, so I'm going to allow a +2 to her AC. With a +2, that brings her to that, and 19 to hit. That's still a good roll. I need to check something on her sheet. No, she can't save that, so 19 will hit, and you will deal the 11 slashing damage.
Yes, I'd
She
also
takes the hit.
like to use, because I'm a ranger with like 50 goddamn abilities, Favored Foe.
Mm-hmm.
Marking her as my favored foe, which means I get to do an extra 1d4.
Perfect.
And then I'll use little old trusty Pudge's lightning infusement, which I think is another 1d6.
It is,
Which sort of catches the blade mid-air, sort of electrifying it before it collides.
A beautiful description as she takes another 7 points of damage. And she's now marked, so let's use the person for that. Why not? Oh no, that counts as obscured.
She's vanished.
That's not what I wanted. Let's put these damn tokens. Let's give her the Holy Shield one. Why not? And she was where was she? She was up after Natara. Where was she? Oh no, I've forgotten where she was in the thing, and I've turned her off.
In between Natara and Baron.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll give her a 10 then. Perfect. Okay, so that's your turn. Anything else, Durgus?
That's me. I'm done.
Wunderbar, because from around the corner, some creatures a lot like one you fought before suddenly come into appearance. The Sea Spawn. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another one comes wandering around the corner. They are lumbering towards you, and Baron, you're still under the effect of your reckless attack, I'm afraid. As this thing will throw its arms at you. And then try and get you with some of the spikes on its legs.
It can try.
Well, it rolls a 21.
It succeeds.
Dealing 6 damage, and it will also roll a 17.
Yep.
Dealing another 4 points of damage, and because of its Piscine anatomy,
Wait.
it's going to use some quills from along its arm to try and stabberoo you. Rolling a 23.
Yep.
You will take 6 points of poison damage. Down to 27. And additionally, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 22.
A 22 will pass, and so whilst you feel a little bit sickly from the quills as they scratch your skin, you find that you're able to offset whatever sickness they were trying to impart upon you, as you are not poisoned. As we go on to Brannon, who continues to bob in the water. Natara.
Natara, where is Brannon? Because I can't see him. Is he underneath a token?
He is now, yeah. He's currently being kicked around. He's underneath there, yeah.
Okay. Natara's gonna move on up slightly just so she can see a little bit better. She wants to get to Brandon, but she obviously can't since he's being kicked around by everybody.
Yeah.
So she's gonna do.
You also can't anyway because you can't stop on the square that Tank or Baron are on.
Yeah. So she'll do another Thorn Whip at the one in front of Baron.
So the kind of weird shambling creature?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. An 8 will miss, unfortunately, so you'll strike the air beside it as the whip goes out. Anything else?
No, that's it.
As we go to the Tabaxi, who is going to stab out at Baron. Again, still under the effects of that reckless attack, Baron. It's not a good time to be you.
Nope.
As she slashes twice with the scimitar and once with the dagger. That is a 15 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Does that hit?
Yep.
Okay, so we're half damage, aren't we?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, 2 points of damage. An 18 to hit.
Yep.
Another 2 points of damage. And a 10 to hit. So the dagger will miss you as the 2 slashes from the scimitar come in and leave little cuts and grazes.
Owie.
Still, that's her turn as we go to you, Baron.
Well, he's gonna swing at the gross shambling creature. This time not recklessly.
Okay. Swing away.
That will be a 25 to hit.
Definitely hit. And with a 15. Absolutely bone dusted. Dead as can be, as its head is cleved from its body. Cleaved. Cleved. Anything else?
That's going to be it.
Geronimo. Oh, we don't need the
Okie dokie. Seeing the other one in its vicinity and approaching fast, he picks up another pebble and is going to catapult straight into its body. I will roll that in a second. when I
that's
find it.
fine. It's a save for him, isn't it?
Yeah, dexterity saving throw. For 17 damage if it goes through.
Unfortunately, he just meets your DC, and so the stone will skitter into the water and then bounce off, I'm afraid.
Alright, with Tank being where Tank is, he kind of shouts over for him to pulsate. So Tank is going to, as a bonus action, pulsate for temporary hit points for people, if they should choose to accept them.
7 temporary hit points for everyone except Geronimo, if you would like the 7. Brannon, would you like to accept the temporary hit points?
Yeah.
Case,
It will only be a case of when I lose them, they'll go back down, right?
yes, so in a minute, when or a minute outside of combat. Actually, no, 10 hit points. They lasted 24 hours. You'll be alright. You've got a day. But you are no longer unconscious. You are just prone. As you are now awake with 7 temp hit points. Anything else, Mr. Geronimo?
No, I think that's it for me.
Fantastic. We go to Durgus at the top of the round then.
It me time.
It you time.
And it me whack time. Right, I think... how are we going to do this? I think he'd sort of meander his way over the unconscious body of the whelp, being careful not to or sort of step between its curls.
Mm-hmm.
He can't actually move anywhere now.
Nope.
I was hoping he could sort of walk on on the corpse, which is on top of the unconscious Baron, just to add in a sort of swingery, but no. I think he'd just simply just move up here, getting ready for the next time, as I think Durgus would. Do I want to waste all my spell slots?
Don't know. That's a question for you and God.
God, do I want to waste all my spell slots? No,
I think you should.
I think he will. I think he will. And I think he's going to mutter Dwarven for fly like the wind as his hand axe begins to buff it with this strange, almost breezy, foggy, zephyr-y stuff. As I like to try and cast Zephyr Strike, please, Alex.
Go for it. That's absolutely fine.
My bonus action.
Yeah, I'll cast the spell again because I've got to keep this one up because this is what I get wrong quite often.
Right, and that's
you can keep the damage dice for the next time you take that attack.
Yep.
So
right, just to take it now.
Just to remind you, the only thing Zephyr Strike provides at all times is no attacks of opportunity. You then make an extra, or you then give yourself advantage on one normal attack that deals the extra d8, and you get the bonus walking speed. But once you use that attack, you get none of the other benefits again whilst the spell is active. You just get the...
Perfectly fine.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that, because I've done it wrong a couple of times.
I have accepted the fact I am an immobile old man. So yeah, he's going to then launch his returning hand axe forwards with the speed of the wind. Come on! That's a 19. That's what he secured. Look at that. 26! 26!
I would love to help, but my foundry has actually frozen up. Hello and welcome back. Apologies there for the slight technical issue. That's the first time my PC has ever frozen up like that. So look at what we do to bring such great content. But we are back. We shall stick the two videos together, and thank you for everyone for sticking with us during that slight technical issue. We've gone for our break. We hope you have too. And we're just going to finish off this fight as quickly as we possibly can here, since we are really at the end of it, before getting on to some of the tasty role play. Okay, so if I remember correctly, we had just had Durgus, who had thrown his returning hand axe for a 26 because of the advantage from Zephyr Strike. And that was at who, sorry?
That was towards the, I'm just going to say Khajiits, and it was non-lethal, if that's alright.
Tabaxi? Because this isn't Skyrim. For a 13, and you need to roll with an 8. Dude, don't worry. Don't worry about any of the seconds.
Oh really? Is she fucking down? She got
with the 13 from your attack plus the 8 from the Zephyr Strike, yeah.
Yep, and that was non-lethal. Just to clarify. Clarify.
Clobbered on the head with the axe as she drops non-lethally. Unconscious. Epic. Only one being left, and he's shambling away, seemingly mindless up here in the top left. As we in fact go to his turn. He's going to go shamble up next to Unitara. And he's going to go shamble and try and wallop you with his big old hands and something a little bit nastier. He's going to do a 12 to hit Natara.
That doesn't hit, I think.
No, that doesn't hit. And a 9 and a 9 to hit, which obviously will not hit, as this one tries to bite you. And does a 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Dealing to you 6 points of damage. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, not exactly the most lethal of creatures, as we go into Brannon, who is now awake and just lying in the water.
And not particularly liking where he is, so he's going to use his half his movement to stand up. And actually, wait, is that just all my movement?
I mean, it halves your movement, which would go down to a 15, which is then a 7.5. You have 5 feet of movement.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, he's then got a bonus action Misty Step over there. And of course, I end up right next to someone else.
Yeah.
And I guess action. I use my Misty Step. I'll do a magic missile at the one at the snake thing, one at the Tabaxi, and one at actually 2 at the Tabaxi.
The Tabaxi's unconscious.
Oh, is it unconscious? Oh, my mistake. I guess just.
I mean, you can hit the Tabaxi if you want.
No, I'm not that horrible yet.
Okay. All 3 at the sea spawn. Yeah, go for it. So roll those damages.
11.
11, not quite enough to take it down, but 3 massive hits as these missiles, as they strike in at different angles, almost blowing bits of the body off and away, as the creature is barely holding itself together. Anything else, Brannon?
No, that's it.
Okay, we go to the Tabaxi, who is unconscious, so we can remove them. Baron, the rage still takes you, and there is one combatant still left standing.
Baron is going to kind of push and shove his way through everyone until getting next to this gross, nasty thing. And with another heavy swing of the axe, hopefully taking it down.
I mean, give me that roll.
16 to hit.
And with a huge, burly swing of the axe, the creature is cut deftly in half. And the fight is brought to a cacophonous end. As slowly fade out our combat music, and we are left in the quiet of the cave, the rasping breath of the tabaxi as her chest rises and falls, while still lying in the water, the slight shimmer and quiver of the wormling as it doesn't seem to need to breathe, and also floats in the water, as well as the bits of body that float around from the other creatures. Brannon, your body is beaten, and even as you stand around, your injuries still feel very sore, as if you could fall apart at any moment. What would you all like to do?
Brandon's going to just slowly lower himself into the water a bit, and looking at Natara going, some help would be lovely.
Oh, of course I was trying to get to you before, but it's a bit crowded. And then since we're out of turn order, right?
Yeah, no turn order.
Yeah. Okay, she will go over, put a hand on his shoulder, and cast Cure Wounds.
Excelente.
No, you speak Spanish?
Oh, I was practicing it during my Italian lessons.
7.
Okay.
7 points of hit points. 7 points of hit points? 7 points of healing. As the wounds begin to tie together, but they look closer to scabs than actual healing. The Brannon, you are in one piece at the very least, but you still feel so very sore and achy, and yeah, it's still not good condition to be in.
I suggest we find somewhere safe to hang out for just a little bit, because otherwise I'm going to be very useless very soon.
Aye, well, one thing at a time. He sort of goes over and sort of hooks up the strange little dragonling in his hands from beneath him, before sort of gesturing over towards Baron. Hey, Baron, you're right to take the cat lady.
I can do. Where are we planning on going?
Oh, I don't know. We've got to explore this place, so hopefully there's some sort of shore somewhere.
As you say that, from still further, again, that north on the battle board, but from further ahead in the darkness, you begin to hear this soft, chilling, grating laughter.
I don't like that.
Hey, well, you're not the only one.
The only direction we can really go. If we try and drag her through the water, she'll just drown.
It may just be some sort of illusion thing. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Why don't we tie her up and sort of leave her?
Wait, why are we trying to take her prisoner?
Well, information's information.
I mean, I didn't have much luck with the previous one. Do you think I'm going to have much luck with this one?
Oh, we've changed as people, we've gained experience, and she may just be, cooperative. Maybe she knows forced into this kind of life.
That one, I'm not sure about the tabaxi, but fine.
If you don't think she's going to be much use, we can just dispose of her here.
He seems a little bit rattled by that concept, and is like,
So?
I don't know. I feel like just stabbing someone when they're down is a bit much.
Oh, we can wait for it to wake up, and then, we can sort of fisticuff it.
Fine, whatever you decide.
Well, I said, I'm usually just sort of go and attack people at first sight type, but if we get something out of her, it'd be useful. So let's just take her with us for now.
Should we just leave? Go back to the ship?
Well, we did just hear that ominous laugh. I want to find out what it is.
We've come this far now. It'd be a shame to turn back when we're this close, it seems.
Aye, exactly. Just give me a moment. Sorry.
I think we can just tie her up, take her weapons, and then come back if we need her, surely.
Brandon's actually going to walk up to her and check for any kind of thing that she might be trying to hide, be it weapons hidden away or magical items or anything that she might use to escape.
Other than the weapons she had that she was carrying, which she obviously dropped when she fell unconscious, from the top of my head, I don't believe she has anything like that, though I will, of course, check for you. Give me an investigation check while I do that.
Okay. Not great.
Again, you check through pockets, you check what might be strapped to her side, but it seems all of her sheaths are empty. Certainly the scimitar and the dagger appear to be the only weapons she was carrying, and yeah, the only other thing you find on her person is a small... It looks a bit like a very long monocle. Those kind of eyepieces that jewelers wear when they're checking the quality of gems.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. Something kind of very basic, brassy, rusted one of those is also on her person, as well as a purse with 13 copper pieces.
Damn, she loaded.
I'll take the 13 copper, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And you said it's like an eye piece.
Yeah, it's like as I mentioned, the jewelers have the one kind of almost extendable monocle that they use to really magnify in on things. It's like one of those, like a single eye.
Brandon's going to cast Detect Magic as a ritual, but obviously because of the thing, it only takes an action.
There's no magic.
And there's no magic?
Nope.
He's going to take it anyway, just in case.
Perfect.
It's a weird monocle.
Indeed.
You saw all magic stuff, right? I mean, does it sort of glow or anything?
No, it doesn't. It's not magical at all. But, I mean, I don't really understand how this cult works, and maybe this is something.
Aye, well, just give me a moment. And he goes down, pulling forwards his rope, and sort of wraps sort of the entire length around her, sort of binds her fists and goes down, sort of bind where her sort of thighs are, but her feet, making sure she was sort of properly sort of tied up.
Of course.
Before sort of gesturing for Baron sort of pick her up before he himself sort of takes the dragon. They're not really sure what to do with it. Sort of, how big is this thing? Could it fit in his backpack?
Absolutely not. It's as big as Pudge. Think a large dog.
Yeah, and sort of like how, I think he just sort of drape it over his... I don't know, you can't really drape it over his shoulder, can you?
Gonna wear it like a fox.
Like
fireman's skull.
You could fireman's lift it over both shoulders, surely, right?
Yeah, that would be possible. He's a long boy, so you might be trailing his tail in the water, but sure.
That's the thing, so because he's quite a long boy, I think he's he's gonna sort of just fireman's lift him up over the shoulders.
Literally wearing it like a mink fur.
Like a goddamn mink fur. He's fine. He's found a dragon thing. That's his forte.
Okay.
So yeah, I think with that, Durgus would. And did we hear a direction where the laughing came from, or did it sort of
on the board? It's north. Though for you guys, it just seems straight ahead. It seems to be coming from that direction. It's echoing down to you.
Right. Well, I guess we'll head this way, and if we find any trouble, just drop these two, and we'll see what happens.
Right, we'll lead the way, and then Baron would lift up the tabaxi to follow Durgus.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh shit!
Durgus just walked into a wall, so you can leave
Uh,
that.
I was trying to get through that small
You
crevice.
definitely can't do that.
It's fine. I'm small as well. Yeah, he's gonna. I guess go around this way then.
I will move creatures up with you, so don't worry about pulling them with
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
So they're making the boys are making their way off to the left. Is everyone going with them?
Yep.
Okay, feel free to keep wandering around.
We stick together. Actually, well, as we're moving, Geronimo is also going to pick up Tank. But he's going to put a hand on Brannon.
Shit, I've lost sight of Pudge. It's fine.
I'll move Pudge and everything up with you.
Ooh, I don't like this.
I'm going to put a hand on Brannon and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
It's my last spell slot, so I hope you're happy. For a 9.
Just say if you want to stop, Alex.
You can keep going. You can keep going to the middle of that area if you want to.
Don't say that.
That
Where
sounds
ominous-looking
it's
skeleton
spoiling
is.
it.
Yeah.
No, man.
You're going to add 9 hit points to yourself?
Yeah, I'm just maths.
Maths and shit in it.
Okay. Stop where you are now, please. Tara, I'll keep up with you. Pudge is off to the side there. Durgus has the wormling. Baron has that. Okay. Check who can see what. Excellent. Okay. As you continue to move up and around the chamber, the water starts to become thicker and much darker, almost as if with oil or murk within it. Additionally, the number of bones of humanoids and creatures begins to brush up against your legs, seemingly reaching some kind of center point deep here down in these submerged caverns. As you continue to move up, the laughter gets a little bit louder. The noise clearly coming from this tunnel up ahead of you.
Well, I say we just keep going.
Surely there's a lot here. Just sort of slumped up against the wall. It could be some sort of corpse-consuming witch.
And if we're ambushed again, I don't really want to drop this tabaxi on their head. Baron will kind of slump up the tabaxi against one of the cave walls.
Tabaxi is slumped.
I think Durgus would do the same, just sort of like awkwardly trying to prop the thing up so it doesn't like fall down into the water.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it's a bit of a snake, he still has to recreate it a few times.
Yeah.
I think he then, taking his longsword in his left and his thrown axe in his right, slowly pushes forwards.
Go for it. Is everyone else staying with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
In which case, what I'll do is
It's
I'll
easiest.
there. Move you as a party then. Don't worry, I can move you this bit.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
There you go. As you continue down the chamber,
I can't see it.
you can't see it. Would you like to get to a point where you can see it?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. Okay. Oh.
I don't want to be that guy. But, oh fuck, where is it?
As you continue down the chamber, the laughter gets louder and louder, chortling and chuckling. Whilst
Greg.
visible to those of you with dark sight from a little bit farther away, it simply is this odd, bulbous, fish-like shade of grey, only properly illuminated once caught in the light that Baron carries. You see it as this round, strangely dressed, fish-like creature in a pale green with scales and spines coming off of its head and around its neck. Its hands are long and prehensile, with tiny little claws on the end and some fins that run down its back. Despite the murk and grime of the water around you, the water it sits in is actually very, very clear, and you can see rather than legs from its waist downwards, it appears to just have this long tail, almost like a fish. Its neck seems to blow up almost like a toad's and then shrink in as the laughter continues. And once you get kind of within that point of light for the creature, its eyes would have these strange, fleshy, I suppose, skins kind of retract over the top as if protecting the eyes from the light as it looks between you all. So, you are the ones who make the noise.
Aye, that'd be us. Yeah, are you gonna kill us?
Kill you? Why would I want to kill you?
You know, he's sort of fishy, but not, does he seem sort of barnacled and sort of more seafloory like the rest of the, Ultraories?
No, it doesn't seem so. There's certainly no tentacles. There's no barnacles or things stuck to him. He's quite clean. Indeed, his fashion sense is quite whimsical. He has a little bag on his side. He definitely doesn't suit the same aesthetic as the others.
Are you with the other people down here? The ones with all
them?
the... Yes.
Well, I was with one of them just a moment ago. A cat about yay high. Now, he holds his hand up to about the height of the tabaxi, and as he does so, he actually rears out of the water, rising higher and higher until he sits in the water from his waist up, perhaps 8 or 9 feet tall.
I more meant, do you work with them? Are you a cult member?
Work with them? No, that insists that I work or that I'm paid. No, am I with a cult? There are no cults, well, not the one that I'm part of. What of all of you?
We're here to solve a mystery, I guess you could say.
Mystery? What is your mystery? Perhaps I can be of assistance.
Well, do you know the way to a temple nearby?
He reaches up a hand and rubs at the neck sack before leaning forwards. Even from where he is, leaning at the waist, he's able to get very, very close to the front pet, which is Baron and Durgus. You haven't even asked me my name.
Well, go on. What's your name then?
Galbari. What of you?
I'm Durgus.
And Geronimo.
I'm Natara.
Yeah, I'm Planin.
Baron.
There are some lovely names between all of you, much better than Frost.
Was that the name of the Catwoman?
You didn't know?
Well, let's just say she sort of hangs with a crowd we aren't exactly friendly with.
Oh, I see. Is this something to do with your mystery?
Yeah, basically. Unfortunately, every time we meet people like that, they don't want to talk. They just want to kill us, really.
Speaking of talk, you don't really seem like the rest of them. I mean, what are you doing down here?
No, I'm trapped, perhaps just like you.
You're trapped?
Do you see me leaving?
Well, I don't see you chained up. It's just, how are you trapped? Can we help?
Oh, perhaps. You said you were looking for a temple?
Well, we know where it is above, but we don't really know where we are down here.
There are no temples here, friend, but they were talking of one.
Well, what were they talking to you about? You know, apart from the temple. I mean, yeah, you're not really, the average sort of fish. I mean, most of them can't really talk.
Oh, average fish? No, I am no fish, friend. This is just the way I look. You are mistaken if you think I'm just a fish.
Well, what are you then? I mean, you're very well dressed.
Oh, you are charming indeed, although your dress sense is not quite up to mine. As he says that, he kind of extends up again and almost ripples his body slightly, as if this is somehow showing off the baggy dress sense that he has. Still, I am stuck here because I was drawn, perhaps as you are drawn.
Drawn to what?
Oh, you do not know?
Well, I wouldn't be asking if I did.
Have you heard the story of Skin the Black?
Oh, is that here?
Oh no, my friend, but it is close.
So you know about the canteen?
The decanter?
Oh, yeah, same thing.
No, not a canteen, not the same as a decanter.
Well, it grants wishes.
Oh, that it does. Well, I heard of the decanter and how nearby it was, so I came a-looking, and I got trapped.
Well, if you got in here, sure you can get out the same way.
Not until the deal is broken.
You like being vague, don't you? What deal?
I'm vague because there are rules. Rules we must all follow.
So you can't tell us of this deal.
I can elude, I can tell you bits and pieces, but I can't just say it all.
Why exactly is this? Some sort of cultural, obligation?
No, I value my power.
Your power. And what sort of power is that?
You ever made a deal on your power?
Oh, my power comes from my muscles and my axe, I've used it to solve situations before, but they don't really do much talking.
I can imagine. My power, the power of the sea, the power of magic, the power of nature and the world. But it's also valuable, and easily lost when you make a deal on it. I don't want to lose it.
So did you make a deal and you want it back?
I've still got it, I just cannot leave.
What's keeping you here?
The deal.
What's
Oh,
the
then
point
in that... Sorry, go ahead.
what's the point of having power when you can't use it?
He throws his hands up in the air. I can use my power still. I still have it, but if I leave, I lose it. That is the nature of a deal on your power. You ever swore on your mothers before?
No, we get the idea. Can we help at all then? How do you break the deal without losing the power?
The deal needs to be made null, void.
Who'd you make the deal with?
I made it with our friend the cat.
And what would make it void?
She'd need to say that we were no longer under terms.
Why? Sorry, why did you bet all your power? I mean, if you clearly value it so much, you must have got something good in return.
I wanted the decanter.
What, and she bloody had it?
Wait, what?
No, she didn't have it, but her friends.
They have the decanter.
That's what I've been told. It's what I sense. It's what I feel.
Geronimo's going to slink off at this point. He's going to try and look and make and double check that Frost hasn't just buggered off.
Oh, still seems to be there.
Right, he's going to try and attempt to drag her back towards the group whilst this is all going on.
Go for it. Just move wherever you're going, and I'll put her behind you.
Well, what if... Would you be able to help us if we managed to get her to drop the deal?
Help you how? I've just come on out of one bad deal. I don't want another.
No deal. Consider it mutual aid. No need to get anything contractual.
One of his kind of fishy eyebrows, or brow spurs, kind of rises as if querying your point.
Well, Consider us your friends if we help you. How about that? And maybe if we need it, you might be able to return the favor.
Sounds like a deal. You said no deals.
Well, don't put it down in writing.
Yeah, it's not like if obviously there's no definitive to it. You don't have to do it, I suppose. But I just feel like if we help you, you might be more willing to help us at some stage.
Sounds like fancy world trying to extort power.
Well, I'm sorry, but you're currently stuck here without your power, and if we can help you, we'd like something a little bit in return.
Once they're done with the decanter, the deal is over anyway.
And what do you bloody want a decanter for?
The wish? The power?
Just for safekeeping or for anything in particular? I mean, we may be on the same side.
I doubt it.
You're not aiming to sort of like drown the world and, make it some sort of fishy super race, are you?
Drown the world? Why would I want to do that?
Well, I mean, you can swim and we can't. Well, we can, but it's not very well.
There's no reason I wanted water on the land. You keep the land. It's awful up there.
So what is it you do want to wish for?
I don't even know yet. But can you imagine the decanter of skein?
No, I can imagine, and frankly, if I could get it, I've got a few things I'd wish for too, but...
Hey guys, can I talk to you in maybe aside from the great old fishy one?
I think you mean Kalbari.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm calling
what you
him.
Mean.
Yeah, but don't you think old great fishy one sounds more powerful?
Absolutely not.
I don't know how great or powerful he is. I mean, apparently he doesn't have his powers right now, but if you insist, General.
He does have his powers. He's just unable to leave. Yeah. Anyways,
what is it you want? What is it you want to talk about?
Bam! Moving back.
Everyone's running backwards.
Get in secret. Shh.
Hey, welcome to the secret club with Geronimo. No, it's as everyone kind of comes closer to him, sort of looks around at everyone, and he kind of peers over to Kalpari just to make sure that it doesn't look like he's listening. But he's going to try and sit down and go like, so I get the idea that there's probably a reason why the cultists wanted to keep him down here. And he's just revealed that Frostykins over here knows that their people have got the decanter, right? So...
Well, they probably have the bloody decanter, the temple.
Yeah, but she knows everything, and we've got it right here. So why don't we just leave? Leave him there so he's unable to do anything to us. And then take Frost and go talk to her.
I wouldn't... It's hard, because you're sort of all after the same kind of thing. But, if we get his help in, destroying, these cultists, stopping Okra from being summoned and all, then I guess, it may be worth it.
For once, I like Dargus's idea.
Yeah, but what if we get out there and it turns out that he is going to be a big pain in the ass when we're trying to get to do our thing?
Don't know. It seems a bit presumptuous.
Well,
sure, he's certainly magical, but he seems amicable enough.
Aye, and he's trapped here as well.
No, he's just a big bloody fish. We could just gut him if worst case scenario.
I don't know about that. Did you see how he grew to 9 foot tall? I'm pretty sure he's at least somewhat powerful.
Well, he may be large, but we've killed probably like a 9 foot worth of cultists.
Well, maybe if you stack them all on top of each other, that doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's less the height and more the fact that he was just there and then he was there but bigger. It feels like there's something he can do that we don't know.
Well, what I'm saying is I'd rather have him on our side than not.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that it's being on his side, acquiescing to his requests, if he gets to the decanter and we're like, hey, we stopped the cultists, who gets to the decanter now? Which all of us here are looking for, and that is the premise of which we formed this sort of little group.
That is true. And,
then what happens then? Do we gotta fight him? It just feels like the option is that he comes along and the fight against the cultists may be easier, but we may have an even worse enemy to have to deal with.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, the decanter, we don't really know how many wishes it has on it. I mean, it may not even be one for each of us. We're gonna end up fighting anyway. And right now, I'm sort of out here for the adventure more than anything else. And to be fair, stopping a god from being summoned, it does sound pretty adventurous to me. And if we get him on side for that, at least, it's something.
That's a point. He's obviously wanting the decanter for some means, but he definitely probably doesn't want the world to end, which is what this cult is trying to do, at least to the best of our knowledge. So he might help us stop them if we tell him what's actually happening with them.
Oh, and wait a second, clearly the cultists are going to use this wish to, bring their bloody big old man in. They're going to use the wish up anyway. So if anything, he should be helping us.
Yeah, I mean, whatever we decide to do, I'll go along with. I'm just kind of thinking that maybe as a pre-warning, just in case we get to that stage and we're all exhausted, and this guy with the supremely godly power just turns around and goes, y'all gonna die.
Well, let's just keep fingers crossed for the cultists kill him, sort of in the battle.
Kevin, you got a funny way of treating your friends sometimes.
He's not a friend. We don't really know him very well.
True. Okay, well, hey, I trust you guys. I just wanted to say my piece. That's all.
So let's just go over. We tell him about the decanter, what the cult's aiming to do with it, and we free him. And just tell him to help us.
In order to free him, we got to get Frostykins over here to kind of say it.
Oh, just slap us too, threaten us, that kind of thing. We're good at that.
Yeah, I don't know if it works so well with them cultists, but hey, this is the thing. We know that she was a friend of my family member, my cousin, and I think was the name Emerald, wasn't it? That was
her name.
Yeah,
your cousins.
Yeah,
the cousin was Destiny. Emerald was the tabaxi that was in the room across from room across from your cousin,
which is Frost, right?
Which is the one where the room Frost went into.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it may not have been. No, because she revealed that Frost is called Emerald. That's her stationing after I followed. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. John kind of looks and goes. So we kind of know that. So there must be somebody that she's close to, and maybe I can say that I'll find out and cause them pain or something. I don't know.
I don't want to be that guy, but the contract is kind of null and void if he sort of pulls his finger across his neck.
I don't know. You may want to check with great fishy one over there.
Right. Well, just give me a moment, and he sort of barges between Natara and Geronimo, sort of calling out, sort of raising a hand to amplify his voice. If Frost were to die, would that sort of cancel the contract too?
The creature would turn, scratching kind of a slight lump on its arm before it peers at you, most disinterestedly. You have had consignatories on a contract. He waves a hand dismissively as if you have a stupid idea. There's always more of them.
Well, I mean, if you got two people and, one of them dies, then you can't really fulfill the deal, can you?
Only if one side doesn't have any other signatories. But they've got lots.
You said you couldn't see what the deal exactly was, and he sort of gestures over for the others to join him as he sort of walks forwards once more. Right, look, we've had a bit of a chat. And, these cultists, the people she's with, and, assuming the people you've made the deal with, they're going to use the decanter to, how do I put this lightly, summon a god who will destroy the world as we know it. And I assume, being a large fish man who hopefully likes being alive, you'd sort of like to help us in making sure this doesn't happen. Worst case scenario, we We just destroy it, and they do summon a god. But best case scenario, the decanter's still intact, and well, we can fight about it then.
You think they want to summon a god?
Well, yes, they've been trying to basically end the world, and as far as I'm aware, I mean, I don't want to presume what you're capable of, but if you're trapped here while they do it, you'll be ending with it.
You think they want to summon a god?
Well,
we know.
No, you
Aye.
don't.
maybe God's the wrong word, but we know they want to destroy, well, everything.
Well, you must have heard them chat about this old craw fella.
He waves a hand from side to side again as if telling you, no. You don't know what they want to do then. Not if you think they want to summon a god. Ulcro? Ulcro's already here.
What do you mean he's already here?
You don't get it, do you?
Could you maybe tell us?
He's sleeping.
So they want to wake him up?
Oh, well, that's part of the plan.
You seem very fine with this. I mean, if he does wake up, that's not going to be very good for the rest of us.
Maybe not for the rest of you.
Well, so are you on Team Ulcro now?
Team Ulcro? A very simple way of seeing the world.
Wouldn't him waking up and destroying things inconvenience you?
You think this is the only plane I live on?
Well, I did assume you were probably from another, but if you're trapped here while it happens, you'll be done in along with all of us.
Once they're done with the decanter, I can go again. I got no chance of being around when Ulcro's here.
But that's what I'm saying. How do you know they'll give you the decanter before Ulcro comes?
It's all part of the deal. I bet my power, they bet... And then he pauses and he says that, his eyes kind of looking down, almost at himself, as if checking himself. They bet something else.
What did they bet?
Can't say.
Why not?
Not allowed.
Well,
Is that
was it
part of
something equal
Sorry.
of power to your own?
It's a lot of somethings.
Is it souls?
Oh, souls are so... He kind of moves his finger, the long, almost reptilian fingers. Souls are so slimy and they move and they get into the little gaps. No need for souls.
So, what can you tell us?
He pauses for a long time, thinking very closely about what he can and can't say. I can tell you they need me here. I can tell you This is just the first part.
Why make a deal with you rather than anyone else?
You see many of my kind around before?
No, I haven't. You're a very peculiar being.
Then maybe you understand why.
What kind are you, if you don't mind us asking?
As you say that, he kind of swells up again, this time actually swimming up slightly so that most of his midriff is actually up, and you can see from, as I mentioned, the waist down, he has that kind of single, almost like spindly fin at the back, which almost goes and sits up on, so that he now rises to about 12 or 13 feet. I'm so glad you asked. Galbari, the married.
But they're married.
You got it.
Would I know what that is?
You can give me an Arcana check,
Yeah, same.
or you can give me a Nature. I'll take either.
I genuinely expect him to burst out into song when you said, "I'm glad you asked."
I don't know.
Honestly, if I could sing, I would have.
Can I check as well?
Anyway, the friend had me.
It would have been something from Aladdin.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know anything either. Fine.
Yeah, if you have Arcana or Nature checked, you can roll one of them. 14, a 5, and 8. Do you have it checked?
No, I don't. Don't worry.
I have it checked.
Nah, not with a 5, not with an 8, not with a 14. Nope.
What are you married to?
You're a funny man, a funny small man.
I try my best. So,
Creature of the sea, fae of the underwater, a genie of the deep.
A genie? So, these deals that you're giving, can't you... I don't know how right this is, but can't you grant wishes yourself? Although maybe not, I don't know.
Genie powers come to some wishes before, but we can't exactly cast them for ourselves. That would unbalance nature and the world.
That's fair.
So, if you're a genie, could we make a deal with you?
I told you already, no more deals. I'm stuck here because of a deal. I don't want another one.
Aye, but what if this deal could help free you from here?
Deals can't break other deals, not allowed.
well, look, if we wake her up and, she sort of says, the contract's null and void, she got many other signatories, don't really know how the bloody works, but if she just says no, does that cancel it for everyone?
If she says the deal is over, then the deal is over.
Right, so
Right.
to say that, would that be happy? Would you be fine with that?
If the deal was over, of course I would.
Okay,
Well-
we can end it now then. And Brandon's going to start walking back towards Frost.
Okay. She is still
And
unconscious and
gonna-
tied up.
Gonna try and wake her up. And so she's unconscious. Can I, Natara, can you possibly heal her a bit?
I can. Natara's gonna turn around and lean down to cast the Cure Wounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I can find it in my spellbook. For 12.
That's big girl healing. There is a splutter. There's frost. Let me just add the restraint. As frost comes to immediately, kind of sicking up a little bit of the salt water, the water that's got into her mouth, before blearily looking between all of you and then swearing very loudly in a language you don't understand.
When she comes to, Brandon's gonna lean down and placing his hand on her head, gonna cast Suggestion.
Okay, cast the spell for me. And what is your sentence?
You should probably end the deal with the married.
She looks around for a moment, her eyes spacing out for a second, before they come back into focus, and she looks up at you, confused for a moment. And then she spits in your face.
Fuck.
A little bit of tabaxi spittle runs down your cheek.
Should I try again? I can do it one more time.
It's entirely up to you.
I'll try again, bugger it.
Go for it, spend the other spell slot.
Bugger.
She doesn't even seem to kind of blur out of vision this time. She just stares at you with these angry, furrowed brow.
Worked very well, didn't it? Right, how are we going to do this? Look, hello, he sort of says, sort of reaching up over, sort of waving over the taller forms of Natara and Brandon, I guess, trying to get attention of the Catwoman.
She turn and look at you.
Isn't it Frost?
Her ears flatten back as you say that, and she snarls, showing her teeth.
Look, we could have killed you, and, we sort of did you a favour by not doing that. I like your sort of dragon thing, by the way. So, basically what's going to happen is, we sort of got you in ropes, you sort of captured, and, yeah, you're a pretty good fighter, so, we don't really want to let you go. Just how willing are you to die for your cause?
She offers no response.
I mean, we could just kill you now, but we don't really want to do that. Come some sort of injunction, some sort of agreement.
She stops hissing, but she's still staring at you with ears back.
I mean, everyone has their reasons for wanting to sort of like awaken ancient sort of demigod things. I'm sure you got your own, with the promise of power, maybe you sort of had a rough childhood, bullied around as such, but I don't think bringing the end of the world is really the best way.
I mean, I don't want to repeat myself, but she's just staring.
Yeah. He's just trying to gauge her reaction, see if she's just being like entirely hostile the entire time, or if it's like she's easing. But
you're welcome to give me an insight.
Yeah. 17.
17's pretty good. Certainly she was hissing at the very beginning, and since then you've been getting kind of a narrow-eyed, deadpan stare. That could be an improvement.
Geronimo's gonna kind of look towards Durgus to see if he can kind of be tapped in.
Tag me in. Wombo combo.
Tag me in. Durgus just sort of like catches Geronimo's gaze and feels this innate compulsion to tap him in. No, he just sort of nods towards him. So, I mean, say if you want.
Geronimo kind of takes a few steps forward and looks down towards Frost and goes there. I'm sure there's some people you'd probably miss, Emerald.
There is no flicker whatsoever as you call her Emerald.
Geronimo swears under his breath and moves away.
I don't feel she's going to give in easily.
We don't need to give in, we just need to have a reason not to bloody kill her. Like something. He sort of says, peering towards an eye, like, come on, don't you want to be alive? At least to just, see the awakening of your bloody Ulcraw man.
She kind of shifts and shimmies slightly in the water as she kind of adjusts to look between Geronimo and Durgus.
Nope, nothing. I mean, what about this? I mean, you can at least explain what this is. I mean, I've got my own, look. He sort of gestures for Pudge to sort of come up, but like sort of to his side, nuzzling. Well, I don't know if he can nuzzle him besides tank the space.
Sure, why not? It's not in combat. I don't care.
Yeah. And he sort of reaches down to oh fuck, the thing's back there, isn't it? And he sort of gestures and points over. It's like, what the bloody hell is that about?
The Tabaxi looks at Durgus for a moment before there's a pause, and then she looks back to Geronimo. Talk to him.
To the gnome.
She gives a little nod.
Do you want privacy?
She looks between all of you and then nods her head slowly. It's clearly gauging your reactions.
Well, if we do hear, some sort of scream, we will come and lop your head off, so just don't do anything stupid.
She kind of shrugs her shoulders up slightly. She'd probably hold her hands up in a kind of surrender if she could.
Geronimo steps forward and kind of nods at the others. Keeps tanking nearby, though, putting him down, trying to make him look as threatening as possible in support mode.
Support mode, bot lane.
Bot lane,
yeah. Right, I think Durgus would, sort of whistle for Pudge to follow as he aims to just move around the corner, really. Sort of out of eyesight, at least, but not earshot.
You can just move that way. You can go over your friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna just fucking screw these guys.
Wow.
Oh, I've lost Pudge. Pudge
I'll move him with you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Epic.
Geronimo kind of looks down towards Frost and goes, okay, I'm here.
Frost immediately looks over at the awkward conglomerate of your friends just standing slightly off to the side, barely any further away, and then looks back at Geronimo and just frowns.
He kind of pulls out and goes, you're a little bit too close, guys.
I come on this bloody way. He says, just sort of pushing himself to the cave edge, sort of letting people filter into this sort of area.
Yeah, you can move over each other. It's all good. Okay.
I'm distinctly nervous about this now. Fuck.
It's fine.
She sighs slightly and then nods her head. Why did you call me Emerald?
Because I knew that I followed you. That's the room that you went into.
I'm not Emerald.
You're not Emerald?
No, who told you I was Emerald? It was just the room I went into.
Huh. Well then...
Wait, is that it?
Is Emerald the person that you went into? Is that someone you care for?
The person I went into?
I don't know.
She kind of grimaces as you say that.
I don't know. It's a brothel. You know, your words, not mine.
They were your... whatever. No, I was just wondering where you got the name from.
Well, why do you want to know?
As you say that, she kind of sits up as best she can, though she's still clearly in a kind of slightly squatted position. She leans in really, really close. Because that's an odd place to see me. I don't get why you saw me there.
Why would it be an odd place to see you?
That's the first time I've been there in 3 months. You didn't see me anywhere else?
Well, I did see you in another place.
She kind of leans back as you says that. She looks at you with this kind of curious, curved brow.
What was the name of the place that we were in before? Where I saw her?
The Break?
Yeah. I did see you in the break.
That makes more sense. Break. I was a little bit obvious there.
Yeah, so you're going to explain this whole Emerald situation to me, or what?
What? It was just a room I went into. You've never gone into a room?
Oh, I've been into a room, but...
That's it. There was a room. I knew it was empty.
So why did you go in there?
Because you don't just wander where you're supposed to go after confronting someone at the break. And as she's kind of talking through why she went there and what she was doing, her eyes narrow as if she's connecting dots. How did you know I was at the break?
How did I know?
She nods her head.
Oh, but we were Orello and we know everything.
What?
Durgus,
We were Orello and we know everything.
Durgus shouts from around the corner. Her head turns slightly and she sighs. Ah, you were Orello.
Yeah. That's, that was us.
She gives a slight nod of her head. That would make sense. I told them they shouldn't send me to meet people I haven't met before. It's a lot easier to work with people you know. There's more security. There's more... She kind of shakes her head slightly.
Well, you see, Frost, or whoever you may be, we got the thing that we needs to do. And we would prefer it if you would end this deal you got with the Kalpari over there.
Hmm? Oh, Kalpari? No, I won't be ending that deal.
No, why is that?
Because we need him here.
But why do you need him here?
He needs to be right there.
But why?
He just needs to be.
There's got to be a reason.
There is.
So why don't you tell me it?
No.
Yes?
No.
This is amazing.
Yes? Okay, well, you're going to play hardball. Okay, I see.
As opposed to what you did, where you just told me that you impersonated Orello.
No, I did.
How you found me?
Though personally, I didn't choose that. That was the disembodied voice from around the corner.
It's not disembodied, it's that stupid dwarf.
Well, it's disembodied in the sense that you don't see no body here, so technically it's disembodied.
That's very clever and apt of you. You're so impressive.
I am.
I'm a killer yet.
Okay, so I think that clearly you got all your information that you needed,
Yes.
but it ain't gonna go anywhere.
Why not?
Because if you don't cooperate, you're gonna die anyway. So all that wasted breath about what's what and who's where ain't gonna help nobody. But obviously, if you do cooperate, then you can go tell your cultist friends what happened.
I don't need to.
Oh, why is that?
Because Kalpari heard everything.
Oh, I'm guessing Kalpari's on side then.
Not on side, it's just when you make an airtight contract, he's got to fulfill it.
That ain't good. So basically, we've been duped.
Yes. And I mean, you can kill me, but then there's no way of you breaking Kalpari's contract. At least not here.
Okay. Have you ever heard of what a gun is?
Oh, what?
I didn't think so.
A
Geronimo's
goon?
gonna pick up tank now. He's
Tank
gonna
is
twist.
picked up.
He's gonna twist him out of tank mode and into gun mode.
Yep.
And what he's gonna do is he's gonna lock and load it, place the barrel to the side of her ear, her left ear, and then pull the trigger.
There is
Fuck.
a bang as the head explodes.
Oh god.
The body.
I'm not
holds-
killing her. I'm not killing her.
Oh, I thought you were shooting her in the head.
No. Just to the side of the side.
Ne-
of
which
next
case-
to her
Yeah,
ear.
yeah.
Trying
in
to
which case-
dazzle her.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was Geronimo character development.
Yeah, I was
Get ready to die, bitch. No.
Jordan puts against his own head. There's only one way out.
I've been duped this whole time.
Exactly. I look like the fool shoots himself. As you fire the pistol next to her ear, she screeches as she flinches away, almost falling to the side, the ear immediately pressing back against the head as the other rises up, almost as if trying to get away from the sound. She starts to breathe heavily as if the pain in her head is just intense pounding.
What was that?
That you see, Frost. You may think you're real clever, but there's
What?
clearly something. Oh shit! Geronimo's gonna kind of like rub his chin, and then he's gonna wave the gun in her face, like all angrily, like "You're gonna help us, okay?"
She flinches away as you wave the gun before going, "What?"
Geronimo's gonna make big movements with his lips. He goes, "You are gonna help us." He's gonna wave the gun a bit more.
She just kind of shunts as best she can away from you in the water. It's like bum wiggling. She's not moving far at all.
I'm trying to think now.
I think Durgus would, obviously hearing the gunshot and knowing that Geronimo was probably now playing bad cop, would move over and actually try to scoop up the strange sort of serpent thing. And sort of like just drag it with him as he moves on over towards her. He sort of gives a bit of a wave. And what was the explosion?
Oh, I just was trying to be
What?
threatening. That she can't hear.
Oh, it's fine now. She only needs to see, and he sort of lays the serpent out and then gets his axe, and he slowly sort of eases towards the tail, and he's like, You know, obviously looking like he's going to take a cut into the thing.
She just looks between you and the wormling and just frowns.
And then he moves up to the thing's head, like, It's just like...
Oh my god. We're so bad at interrogation.
She pauses for a moment before shrugging slightly, seeing as there's no more gunshots.
She not bloody care for this thing. What sort of heartless monster is she?
I think the biggest problem is the fact that because you're told exactly what happened in front of what's-his-face over there, now everyone's going to know. Just an FYI.
What do you mean everyone's going to know?
Because he's under obligation to tell people. I don't know.
Wait,
What?
what did we tell him that was bad?
What are you saying?
I'm just going to look at her and just put a finger up to my mouth.
What?
Oh,
What?
fine.
What did you do with her?
I put gun next to it here and pulled the trigger.
It is very loud.
Yeah, it's a loud bang.
Well, so you made her deaf.
Oh, and only in one ear. It's painful.
Oh, she can't hear.
That's fine.
Are
She
you
ain't gonna
talking?
help us anyway.
Hello?
Okay. Jesus
Tara
Christ.
looks over at Brennan. Do you want me to go and try and heal her ear?
Maybe. I don't see how her being deaf is as
What are you talking
No.
good
about?
for anything. If you can.
I
that
can't
would be
hear you.
great.
Now Tara.
What are you saying?
Up to Frost, and she's gonna be
Get
like,
away from me!
I
hate
won't hurt you.
You're gonna hurt me!
this. Fucking hell.
No, I'm going to heal you.
You're gonna kill me?
Heal.
Kill?
Natara shakes his head.
She's gonna peel you.
Natara's gonna go
Like
into
an
her
orange.
backpack and take out a medicine kit, which is clearly, you can see it's a medicine kit.
You're gonna poison me!
No.
Now she's afraid for her
What?
life.
Just block her in so she can't get out. And
She's
Natara's
looking
then going
around.
to cast Cure Wounds, trying to undo the damage Geronimo has done.
Cool. Roll me the. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You just exchange the healing for the.
Yeah.
So there's a pause as you kind of run the hand across the side of the head. The green, almost pollen-like energy dancing into the ears. The ears stretch and flex back, and then go upright again. And she goes, "I can hear again."
I said
She
I was
kind
gonna
of
heal.
moves in the water, splashing a bit. I can hear the water.
Yes, you're welcome.
What the hell did you do to me?
I undid what he did.
Not you. You did good things. What about him?
Yeah, I got a bit pissed off that you did weird things.
Asked you questions. Listened.
You care if this thing dies, he says, sort of bringing the large sort of serpent over, sort of grappling its neck,
I just
sort of dangling the length in front of her.
No. Why would I care about that thing?
Why? It's a bloody nice pet.
It's not mine. I mean, as in, it's not a pet.
But what the bloody hell is it?
It's a servant.
Oh, servant. I mean, is it sort of magical? I mean, mine kind of is. Look at him, he's nice. You know, I'd care if he died.
I mean, I guess it's magical, yes, but it's not.
Oh, does he go to like a sort of like a sub-dimension when he dies, and you know he sort of recovers by himself, and then you can bring him back?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But what the bloody hell is this thing?
It's just a wormling.
Where'd you get it?
We have them.
Do you have some sort of dragon locked up somewhere, and you just take its children?
She looks very confused by the prospect of that. I don't know. They just go places and listen to people.
And what, this one just listened to you?
Yeah.
And it sort of decided to just follow you and, you know, fight for you on its own accord?
I thought it was told to, but maybe?
It would make a good trophy.
I mean, it may be more cooperative than her, if this is the case.
I think it can talk.
Can we please move past the fact that the snake is a pet or whatever?
You know, we're sort of grasping at straws here, okay, Brandon? You know, we've got to do something. I mean, if not kill her, then kill Mr. Big Genie Man. You know?
Oh, I very much doubt killing a genie is a good idea. That one will
I mean,
not end well for us.
Brannon did well with the other one we had, didn't you?
Yeah, but that took weeks, and
This
we
is
have to take
true.
it back to the ship, and we don't really have that time.
Wait, you have another one?
Aye.
No, don't say anything!
The Tabaxi just looks back over at the married. And then back to
Actually,
you.
Brandon's gonna lean down and look at her and go, so you're a member of this cult, right?
Yes.
Why?
Because I always have been.
Okay, yes, and that's what everyone says, but what do you get out of it?
The future.
For what? From what we understand, it's going to end the world. Why do you want that?
No, it's a new world.
A new world.
Tell me the thing that you fear most.
Fear most?
The thing that haunts you every single second of every single day.
He kind of recalls back a little bit of that and goes, I don't feel like I want to tell you anything
That's
like that.
fine. No, that's fine. Think of all of you. What do all of you fear? Even the one with the loud, angry piece of wood.
It's actually a medal, but okay.
Oh, don't tell her anything. Nothing from this point on.
What's your point? Why do you care about what we fear?
What follows you every single second of every single day? What can't you escape? What will always find you right at the end?
Death.
I personally don't fear that, but...
Well, she just snorts as you say that. Of course you do. We all do.
She's talking about death.
Oh, do you fear death then?
Everyone
You went
fears.
very Scottish there from
Do you fear death, Mr.
Now we all need to do our impressions of the police officer from Peaky Blinders.
Mrs. Frost.
Mrs. Frost. Do you fear death?
She looks between all of you. We all fear it. Yes, we fear it, but imagine a new world where you never need to fear it.
Is it bloody immortality? Is that what you're fighting for?
It's not immortality. You can still die, but it's not the end.
Is it an afterlife kind of thing?
It's a cessation to transition.
Yeah, but if it ain't here at the minute, if you die now, are you ever going to find your paradise?
Only if...
Got a good point.
Well, if it all comes true, then I'll be wherever I want to be.
Just on that though, who's told you this? Is this what Old Crow promises?
I can't hear the whispers of Hulkcrawl. His dreams are not mine.
So who tells you this?
These are the criers.
The criers. And you know them well?
Know them well makes it sound like they're my cousin, and we go to barbecues. No, they are around.
So you are taking the word of a group of people that you don't know well, that or ending the world will provide you with a good afterlife.
That's no end of the world.
Well, no, but that's what you're saying. You're saying
it's
this
not.
version. Then what happens? Where does everyone here go? What happens to us?
Nowhere. We don't go anywhere.
Then why all the killing?
Because people don't share our vision, and it must come true. We were promised
And what is the vision exactly?
a new world.
Aye, but what does it entail?
A cessation to death.
But the only ones you kill are people like us trying to stop you. That's what you believe?
I don't believe who we kill. We kill when we need to.
Yeah, but why do you need to kill?
Because people try... She shakes her head. Is this an echo chamber? You're asking the same questions.
No, you're not
Let's
answering.
put it simply. Look, you believe in somebody, rattling crier man, who's definitely promising you lies just so you end up doing the work. I mean, there's probably only 3 people at the very top who are going to get some sort of reward at the end. And, it's pawns like you who'll die in the service of this. Do you really want to die for something which you have no current proof which will actually happen? Just because some, crazy man goes off on a rant saying that he can.
You're believing the word of 3 men, or however many, that are talking about an ancient god that every other culture destroys the world, and you're hoping that what they're saying is going to be true about you getting good.
Every other culture believes that...
Well, have you not seen what other things say about Ulcor? Or do you just only see the one vision?
Everyone knows about Ulcrawl.
Oh, no, they do.
his
They just
dream.
believe things different to you.
Then they can be wrong.
And maybe you can be wrong.
Aye.
Well, what comes to pass then? She gives a slight shrug.
What will happen to those who can speak to Okro?
They will be the chosen few. The ones worthy of notice. greater than bugs.
And I mean, actually, Brandon's going to look at Baron's. Don't you speak to something like that?
As soon as you say that, her eyes go wide and she stares at Baron.
I was trying to not make it so obvious, but
No, this is good. Think about it. You hear similar things, but you're not convinced. So clearly there's something that these other people that are hearing that they're doing that's malicious.
Well, from what I've heard, it seems that his words have been twisted. They've been manipulated to suit those in charge.
Have you read the Maelstrom?
I haven't read it. I've had people ask, but...
You need to read the Maelstrom.
Wait a second. All right, if you say, he sort of points towards the tabaxi, that he chooses a certain few to hear its words, and he's chosen our friend here, who's doing his best ability to stop it. He's quite recently chosen as well, so clearly there's some misunderstanding somewhere, and your big man, he's clearly hired someone to try and stop this mess.
She does not even look at Durgas as she continues to stare at Baron. You weren't chosen. You weren't chosen. You are just lucky. You are fortunate. You are random. You need to read the Maelstrom. Read it. Read it.
Well, where can I read it?
I do not have my copy on me, but we can find it.
And... well, if you can find me a copy of it, what do you seek to gain from this?
Nothing. The Maelstrom is just the lens through which you can understand the dreams, the echoes.
I can understand them by talking to him.
He's not awake. Have you ever tried to talk to a sleeping man?
Well, he's spoken to me.
That's not the same as conversation. You are a listener. You hear the echoes of dreams. The voices are just the subconscious.
But surely you must see if he's saying he's talked to him, and people you don't even know are saying they haven't, and they just hear these dreams. Maybe he's right and they're wrong.
He's not the only one that's heard the dreams.
I'm not saying he is.
The Maelstrom is the product of those who have heard the dreams. It is the lens through which we can understand the subconscious of a being far beyond.
So the others, he doesn't respond to them?
Responded. It is subconscious. She gives a slight shrug. You can't control what you aren't aware of.
But he's aware.
But they get... She kind of throws her head back as if annoyed. Is a being beyond all of us. You think just because there is a voice that there is conscious awareness. You have not grappled with the scale of what we discussed then. Read the Maelstrom. She stares towards Baron again.
Where can I find a copy?
I can take you to mine.
I'd rather not, I don't want you to sort of crazy cultists like these lot.
Can you promise our safety if you do?
It is not with the others.
That what didn't really answer my question.
I mean, you try and kill me afterwards. I'm not going to not try and fight back.
Yes,
it's not guarded
of course.
It's not guarded by a cell of people looking out for your blood, nor is it somewhere I can easily trip an alarm. It's just buried.
Looking over at the others, and just kind of shrugs and goes, I mean, it would be good to learn what they actually believe.
Right, I agree.
I'm not sure that's the best option. I mean, these things might be cursed.
What other option do we have, Durgas?
I can be careful with it.
Continue on as we were.
But if we can actually have access to what they think, I can check. I can check if it's cursed beforehand. We can go over that, and we might get some useful information.
There might be more inclination on where they're actually going, what they're trying to do.
Right, well, as long as he doesn't read it, that's fine by me. He's just sort of pointing to his left towards Baron.
No,
Needs to read it.
I'm going to read it if it's not going to.
Obviously,
Curse
we'll
me, I
check
suppose.
first with the magic and things, but I don't see why if it
I
isn't
don't know,
cursed.
your simple mortal spells can, sort of fade off whatever bloody demigod thing he is.
I
To
think
be-
that
To be completely honest with you, Durgus, I struggle to read as is, so I don't think I'll make much sense of it.
He might give you magical reading powers just to flip you to his side. You don't know how
It's
these
the
bloody
best
things work.
lead we got for now.
They
It's
are
not a
words.
lead. I mean, it's like we've bloody given away all our information anyway, so it's.
They are words written on parchment. There are no spells. There are no curses. There are no magics.
I wouldn't be swayed by a book either.
I'm guessing it's not some mystical ancient book you've got.
Aye.
It's just a copy of a copy of a copy.
Of course.
Yes, it's. I doubt there's really
I don't
anything
trust
wrong
her
with
for
it.
a second.
At worst, it's propaganda. At best, it's very useful.
Look, well, buddy, get her up then. Come on, and don't you try anything. He says, sort of raising his hand axe with his right hand, as with his left. He slowly but rather awkwardly, at least unties the rope around her feet and thighs so she can at least walk.
Yeah, that's easily enough done, and she can haul herself upright.
Right, and he sort of just places or tries his best, sort of place a hand up on her shoulder. Right, give us directions. I'm not letting you go.
Wait, one sec before we go, and Brandon's going to actually head up to the married.
Mhm.
Is he still there?
Yeah,
I
he's still
can't
there.
actually
He looks like he's kind of half fallen asleep.
I'll walk up to him and go, "Hello, sorry to bother you again.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I just wanted to ask before we go. Obviously, with your deal, you can't do much to help us, and not that you even really want to. But you keep on being really anti making more deals. Can I ask why?
Between us, he kind of leans in as if questioning whether or not you can have a little personal secret.
Yeah, no, if you don't want people to tell me to tell anyone, sure.
I'm not very good at reading the fine print. I've been
Oh.
caught out 3 times before already. I don't want any more deals.
Would you rather just not have this deal then?
That's what I want, yes. But I'm stuck in it now.
Maybe not. We might be able to do something, but we'll see.
Well, you either get me out of this deal or in the next. He lifts his head up, as if maybe sniffing the air or looking to something in the ceiling, though from what you can see it's just at the inside of a cave.
I
You've got
don't know
about-
what.
You've got about 2 days and then the deal's over anyway.
2 days.
That's when they should be done with it.
Would you prefer it ended quickly?
Of course I would, but I'm willing to wait 2 days. This is unwanted, but it's not like I'm stuck here forever.
Just how about for entertainment's sake then? If you could give me something that they wouldn't like me to know, and maybe you get a bit of fun out of it. Either way, you get out in 2 days.
Not if I break the deal and lose my power.
True, but I won't break the deal, and you won't tell me anything that breaks the deal. You just tell me something that doesn't. That does also help me.
He pauses for a moment, blinks slightly. What exactly is it you want to know?
It's difficult because obviously I don't know what you can't tell me, but have you got anything that you know about them that they really wouldn't want anyone to know?
Frowns, his face kind of scrunching up slightly.
That obviously you can tell me.
Now, I suppose there is one thing.
Go on. He quickly takes out a piece of parchment.
That if they succeed here, everything going forwards for them becomes much easier.
He kind of looks a little bit belated at that and goes, "Oh,
Well, what do you want me
Right.
to say?
no, I see. You can't tell me much. It's just not exactly good news for me. But thank you anyway." And he heads off.
Okay. Actions, what are we doing next?
I believe we're just going to get Frost to lead us to her copy of the Maelstrom.
Okay. So she's gesturing with her head, kind of pointing back towards the way you came. We have to head for the exit. We need to leave the caves then.
I think with that, we just get moving then.
Yeah. I'm not so sure on that. Can you just tell us where?
No, because then you'll kill me.
Well, I mean, we don't really particularly want this book anyway.
I think you're the only one that thinks that. Look, let's just get
I'm trying to bloody work with it. You're not helping.
As I said, you'll kill me.
The threatening hasn't worked and all that. We've got this opportunity to find something out. Let's use it.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is going to be some bloody cultists who ambush us on the way and she's going to run through. But it's fine, it'll happen, and then I'll be able to say I told you so. So come on.
Okay. Slowly but surely, you make your way back towards the exit. We don't really need the battle board anymore. You return to the dive, if you will, the kind of U-shaped tunnel that allows you to come into this larger cavern when Frost stops you. How exactly am I supposed to swim this? She kind of wriggles her shoulders slightly.
Hold your breath and I can drag you through it.
Right. Okay. Sure. And are you guys just jumping and swimming?
Guess so.
I will need athletics checks from everyone, and a reminder, due to exhaustion, Geronimo and Brannon are at disadvantage.
Okay, no, he's not.
Do I still have exhaustion?
You got a point of exhaustion because whilst you were away, you had to swim through this, and you rolled very, very badly.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
That was during your absence, but yeah, you took a level of exhaustion for your athletics, and yeah, it's with disadvantage.
Maybe we could go.
Geronimo's going.
He's just going for it. Okay.
You were going to swim, and then when you were reminded of your disadvantage, you then changed your mind. Like, you're going for a swim.
I got a 1.
You did.
Fuck's sake.
So 16
We didn't even
from
explore the whole of the map. There literally just could have been a door which leads us to the surface or something. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
There's an Easter egg, which is just the win now button.
Damn it.
Baron, I need a athletics from you, and yeah, just Baron. Okay.
13.
Well, wouldn't you know it? Geronimo and Brannon immediately fall behind. Their bodies are tired, they ache. Brannon especially has taken a hell of a beating, and you guys are making very slow progress back through. It looks at the current speed like Geronimo and Brannon won't make it through.
God. Fergus would go back and try to help Geronimo.
You're gonna go back?
Yeah, he's gonna go and basically just fucking yank his arm and sort of drag him with him.
Okay. I'm gonna need another athletics at standard for Geronimo, and I'm gonna need an athletics at disadvantage from Durgus.
Yeah.
Is Brannon just being left behind?
Oh my god. Actual sod's law.
14?
I have a plan, kind of.
Okay. Do you want to do it now?
Yep.
Go for it.
Natara's gonna turn into a crocodile.
Okay.
Yep. Before she goes into the water, she's standing there with Baron and.
Well, you've rolled an athletics. You're in the water. Like you
Okay.
wouldn't see them struggling until you were in it. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, she's gonna turn into a crocodile.
Okay. You just form into a crocodile. Your kind of limbs pulling inwards and stretching in that crocodilian way, whilst your face elongates into a snout and your whole body bloats. You are now a dark green, scaly crocodile.
Yes. So she's gonna swim over to Brannon, and like kind of stop there. And like kind of hold on.
He holds on.
Okay.
And she's gonna take him with him.
Okay, so you guys get to the other side, bursting through the water as Crocotara pulls Brannon out of the water with her. slowly followed by Geronimo and Durgus from behind as you manage to get out before you actually start to drown, though I will require both of you to take another level of exhaustion.
Is that going to take 2 separate long rests to do?
Yes.
Oh, God.
So that's 16 hours of resting.
I guess we're going to have a long sleep.
Yeah, a real long sleep. But you do manage to get to the other side, back in the tunnel that leads into the water, pulling yourselves out as Frost is dragged by Barrand. Durgus half carries, half drags Geronimo, and Brannon is holding on to Crocotara.
Right, well, yeah, you're still alive, Geronimo?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, you're breathing? I guess that's alright. And he sort of gives him a firm slap on the back. Right, so, where's this, bloody crazy cultist book?
There's a kind of spluttering of water from the tabaxi as she looks up towards the exit. It's, that way. Oh. She kind of shivers and shakes slightly, throwing some of the water off of her fur as she nods up towards the exit. Buried slightly outside the city. West along the road by a fallen log.
Hearing that sort of apprehension, I'm not sure if it's just Alex thinking on the spot or if it's her seeming to be a little bit sus. Durgus will try to see if she perhaps seems like she's deceiving.
Give me an insight.
Or,
She be lying? Maybe?
Oh, come on, man.
With a 15? With a 15, she looks cold, she looks exhausted, she looks injured. There are still a number of gashes all over her. She frankly just looks drained of everything.
Okay. Right, well, yeah.
Yeah, do with that information as you will.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those bitches that just tells you.
Dude, I don't know. She may just be like fucking plus 500 deception or or what, but no, it's fine.
No, I've said before, I do my insights. I don't just tell you whether someone looks like they're lying. I say how they're appearing to act.
Okay. I think Durgus is relatively convinced. She probably wants us to read this crazy thing anyway, so yeah, you'd sort of push her forwards if able, sort of following her and being quite, oh, wait a fucking second. Before they go up, what is the time when we went in, sort of the time of day?
It was very early morning, still dark, but it's now got quite light. In fact, you can hear outside people walking on the street. They're not particularly busy. You're not in a bustling part of the city. You are still in the back alleys. However, there are clearly and audibly people out there.
Bug mode the side of sheet. What do you guys think? Should we cut her loose? Because we're definitely going to get stopped. I know, Alex, we're going to get stopped if we have a goddamn...
How could you say that, perhaps in character?
No, because... right. Durgus appears towards the others, obviously seeing this light sort of coming up from the sort of trap door ahead. Even if it was quite small, it was clearly sort of dayish. Do we want to cut her loose? I mean, I personally really don't, but I don't know how many guards are about. If they see us carrying around a woman with somebody rope around her wrist, then they may start asking questions.
I've got a couple ideas to deal with that.
No, go ahead.
Tie her hands behind her back and throw like a coat over it. Can't see it.
It works for me. I mean, I don't really have a coat. A bit of a
Worst comes to maybe
Mine's
like
not mine.
yeah, there you go. I've got a sash you can have, but I've also, if you like, when they come, I could disguise myself as a guard if they do stop us.
I guess so. Right, buddy, just hold a second. He sort of goes to untie her arms. I'm still holding that axe, and then if she complies, would retie them back around her back.
She doesn't offer any kind of resistance. As I mentioned, she looks pretty exhausted. As you move her arms around, there's really not a huge amount of strength there. As you move them behind her back, you can retie them up easily.
Awesome.
Once her hands were tied back, Brand would take off his big old coat and kind of just throw it over her.
Okay, she now looks like a damp tabaxi in a big coat.
Epic.
Perfect.
Yeah. Are you now going up onto the streets?
Yeah, we're going. We're leaving. We're
Bugger
following
it.
our
Okay.
instructions.
Emerging out onto the path then, you step out through the kind of ruined door of the hut that acts as kind of the cover for this underground lair. The pathway is made of dirt and muck, and immediately as you step out, there are a number of people wandering around, most looking fairly bedraggled and directionless. They just seem to be wandering between some of the other hovels around here. The tabaxi kind of keeps nodding and gesturing with her head as she leads you on this very slow route back towards one of the main paved roads that leads westwards. As you reach the road, she gives a nod out towards essentially the countryside and begins walking. You guys pass by a number of traders, a number of what looks to be farm hands, essentially just the general bustle of people moving into and out of the city proper. But totally unmolested as you eventually leave the low buildings of the kind of outer bits of the city and end up on the tracks in between some of the farming fields and the pasture land and things like that. Eventually you come across a small crop of trees that are in the process of being felled, though very, very slowly, and she gestures towards one of the trees which has been felled, has fallen over and has been left there for some time. Roughly about the middle, just to the other side of that tree. There's a big bit of bark that should be covering it, or at least covering where it's buried.
Brandon will go up to see if he can find a big piece of bark.
It's easy peasy. The big piece of bark is fairly obvious. As you kind of pull it away, you can see there's a mound of dirt that has clearly been there for a couple of days, but it still looks a little bit fresher and less compact than the dirt around it. And it's kind of pressed right into the nook underneath where the tree has fallen over.
He'll dig it out with just his hands. He doesn't have anything to dig with.
Inside is a small kind of oil skin that is wrapped around what feels to be a fairly heavy book. Pulling the oil skin open reveals a dark leather-bound tome, exactly the same as the one you got in the cave weeks ago.
Oh.
You have a copy of this book.
Fucking knew it. I fucking knew it as well.
The part of it is in your journal. You can see it. You were started reading this book.
Well, now we have two.
Now you have two.
Yeah, we only had part one before. Now
You
we
had
have
you had all the parts. You just
that's
only
part one.
You literally read the first chapter, put it down, and now you've got a second copy of the book.
We got like massive insanity. I fucking knew this was a bad idea. So, like,
She's just staring at you like, yeah. Is it there?
Yes, I've got it.
As I promised.
Aaron,
Yes.
you've already read it.
Have I?
Yes.
All of it?
Not all of it, but you've got it.
Oh.
was it the thing we found alongside that sort of strange totem?
Yes, that's the one.
I mean, I don't know what to say. Should we just, she's not gonna change her mind, she's not gonna comply any more than, we've already forced her. Unless you can sort of do some magical jazz to persuade us. So, I mean, we're sort of out in the middle of nowhere, there's a bit of a hole there already.
I guess, but... Wait, what in this book was supposed to convince us, or convince him, he says to the tabaxi?
The book. It's a translation for the echoes.
Yeah, we've read it.
You've read all of it?
Yes.
And you haven't seen?
No?
You haven't read all of it.
I have?
No, you'd understand if you had. Well, you wouldn't. You don't hear the voices, but she nods at Baron.
He has too.
Then he'd understand. You wouldn't be asking all the questions if you'd read it.
don't really understand what you're not getting. Like, what, do you want proof? Do you want him to read it again and then see he doesn't get it because there's nothing to get?
She just kind of shrugs slightly. It sounds like you just want to fight for the sake of the fight.
I really don't know what you mean by that, but okay. And he'll give the book to Baron, and I mean, you can read it again if you like.
Yes, I suppose I probably should. Kind of just looks a bit confused. You can see it's all kind of getting a bit much for him, trying to work it out in his tiny head.
Look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stand there while you read that entire bloody bleeding thing, talking about, like, oh, you roiling waves beneath the bloody depths, or there's a god and he's got a big eye, and this is all naff nonsense. Look, buddy, what do you name? Frost, Emerald, whatever, just, say your prayers. In fact, don't say your prayers. How do you want to do this? Barons, do you have a big axe? He sort of gestures towards him and just takes a step back.
She looks at the people walking on this main road.
Well, he's right by the fucking main road. What a stupid hiding place is that?
It was under a tree right by the main road, as described.
It's a fucking awful hiding place. I could stumble upon that.
Sure.
Right.
Well, we still need to get to the temple.
Yeah, we have to walk there.
Oh, there's also a good point about that. He was saying, the genie thing was saying that if we don't deal with them in 2 days, then it's going to be a lot easier for them, whatever that means.
Come on then, chop. Which way?
She looks at Durgus from a moment there. What, me?
I mean, do you want to be, sort of deciding where you die now. Deciding where you die now. It means you want to go that way or that way. It sort of points like north, south, east, west. Obviously not going back towards the city.
You just suggested you were going to execute me on a road. I don't want to lead you anywhere.
Well, I'm being nice and giving you a choice.
I choose back in the city.
I am sorry, but that's not one.
No, that's the one I choose.
Oh, I am sorry. Come on then. And he sort of, unless stopped, goes to sort of pull up the woman and just escort her, just sort of away from the road and towards the, I don't know, forest or plains or whatever.
As soon as you put a hand on her, she starts screaming, "Help! Help! Get off me! Ah!" Immediately, people on the street turn and look towards you.
Not wasting any time, Brandon's just going to push him off.
Baron would go to approach Frost. Listen, this is all getting...
They've tied me up! They've tied me up! Please, they're trying to kill me! They want to kill me! People are now beginning to approach you.
Oh, we fucked this up, haven't we?
Oh, I told you, man. I told you, it's this awful idea.
To be honest, as soon after she duped us inside the cave, we've just been continually just like giving into it.
What would you like to do?
Brandon's going to go behind the tree, turn into a guard.
Okay.
Disguise self.
You're going to step behind a tree, change into a guard, and then step out.
Fuck it. I have no better ideas now.
Okay, what's everyone else doing? You stopping and staring?
I just had the stupidest idea, but
Do
it. No, it's really
dude,
bad.
It sounds like the end of a session is going to be full of them.
Stupid ideas, go.
No, it's actually really bad. I'm not going to do it.
Okay, well, she continues to scream, "Please, help! They want to kill me! Please, they've tied me up!" She shimmies slightly so that her hands become visible.
How close are the nearest people?
I mean, they're all around you, dude. Like, they had, think a few paces away. This is a main road into and out of the city in the early morning when people are traveling to or from work. We're not talking hundreds, but there's a good 15 people collecting round in a crowd already. And there are more moving up and down the street, clearly not aware of what's going on, but seeing the crowd forming.
Geronimo shouts out, "Oh, be quiet, you're really wanted by the Bounty Hunters Guild."
Okay. As Guard Brannon steps out,
It's like a shitty like BBC Radio 4
I'm
comedy.
genuinely trying to figure out like how to respond to all this like just conflicting information. Okay, she's going to try and scramble away towards the crowd.
Durgus would definitely just try to grapple her and pull her away.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Baron would try and grab her as well.
Okay, she is grabbed by the pair of you as Geronimo steps forward and says, "Oh, you're going back to the bounty hunters." As guard Brannon steps forward, a member of the crowd then says, "What do you think you're doing?"
Oh, this is a bounty hunter business.
Yeah, what's the crime?
Multiple murders. Wanted in Midden Fair.
Okay, there's a nodding of the head. Whilst this is happening, she continues to scream that she's being grabbed and taken away and they plan to kill her.
I think Durgus would reach up and just try to gag her with his mouth. Just trying to stop
His
her.
mouth.
With his mouth?
No.
jams his mouth in hers.
Yeah. No, sorry. He's gonna place his hand over her mouth.
Okay.
Hope you're bloody ready for some boy smooching.
It's not boy smooching.
Girl
It's the worst kind.
One of the other members of the crowd is going to look towards Guard Brannon. Where the fuck did you come from? Oi, tell him!
Oh, this is official, as he said.
Bounty hunters?
Yeah. We have them here all the time. Surely you've seen it.
Working with the guard?
No.
Someone
they
else from
need
the
some-
other side of the crowd goes, "Just the other day when they rustled my pigs, they said they wouldn't pay for nothing. Where'd they get the money for bounty hunters from?"
No, I've just got a very good working relationship with guards all around the archipelago, so don't worry.
Yeah, no, we don't hire them. We just...
Archipelago?
Yeah,
What are
it's
you
a
on
big
about?
word. It's a nice big word that we learned at bounty hunter school. He winks.
Where's the writ? She's continuing to shriek into the mouth, so it's just coming out this high-pitched noise.
That's why I'm here. They didn't have a writ, so they needed...
Well, hang on. No. They immediately, a group of them start to call out, "Why are the guard arresting people without writs?"
No, I'm not arresting anyone. It's...
Why are you taking in that cat, then?
Durgus, meanwhile, is just trying to drag the woman far away as they
You
can.
are not getting anywhere away. The crowd is moving with you. They are not letting this
they're
go.
like going off the side of the road, and they
Dude, as you go off the side, this woman has been screaming about you taking her off and killing her. They are not leaving you alone.
Baron's going to look towards the crowd. What are you trying to get out of this? You want her to be left away? What?
Don't want strangers getting attacked on the streets. What the
not
fuck's
being
the
attacked on
guard
the
doing
streets.
arresting people without writs? Fucking government's gone crazy. Next they'll be taking our homes, I tell you.
Why don't you go complain to them then?
We're complaining right now.
To
They
one
look,
guard?
they look towards the guard.
Was
Well-
one guard going to change?
Why the fuck's he with you? We don't
He's
want no
escorting
kill
us.
people on our streets. Where's the writ?
Are they focused on Baron right now?
They're focused on the tabaxi.
On the Tabaxi.
That's
okay.
all they're focused on.
Shoot
let me
someone
just-
quick.
Let me. No.
Yeah.
That always helps. The crowd is still building. They're up to a good 25, 30 people now. In the back, you can hear murmurs of, "God are taking people out and killing them."
I mean, I'm exhausted. Anything I do that's like fucking like related is going to be terrible.
Yeah, no, I have absolutely no ideas. I'd just say just let her go. Fuck it. Like, there's nothing we can do here. We might as well just let her go.
No.
Choices.
No.
Either we kill a load of civilians, which let's know. Or we let her go.
They won't attack us, will they? Like the civilians, man. You know, this is
Decisions. You've got choices to make. Actions,
no, they'll
please.
definitely attack us.
Actions, please.
Oh. What happened to fucking bystander syndrome, whatever it's fucking called?
Actions, please.
Well, hold on. Can I just? What's the name of the guy that's hunting? Reginald
D. Martin.
D. Martin. Okay.
Actions, please.
Haven't got one. I don't know.
Geronimo is gonna stay where he is and goes. I got a writ, okay? There's the bounty hunter's bounty was handled by the guild. No, actually, no. Before I say anything, can Geronimo remember exactly what Reginald D. Martins gave us when talking with handling with Geronimo's bounty thing?
I guess.
What would it was? I'm trying to remember. It's basically it's like session 2.
Yeah, dude, you're asking me to remember exact words from an NPC in session 2.
Just a vague remembering.
New ones, yeah.
Did he present a actual writ?
No, he didn't.
He didn't. Okay.
No, he didn't. He told you that you had a bounty, and he waved the piece of paper.
No, he did.
But he waved the piece of paper and told you how much was on it. I don't know if he actually showed you what was written down.
No, he let him read it because he was.
Oh, no, he did. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. He did. Yeah, okay. In which case, you've read one.
I've read one.
You have taken 3 minutes to chat something here. I am rolling a d20, and I have. Let's see. Okay. As you continue to try and pull this woman off of the road, a rock is thrown towards Durgus. Rolling a 10 to hit, which will not hit you. So a rock is immediately thrown towards Durgus as a couple of other voices begin to shout, "What are you doing with her? Why are you taking her away? Bring her back! You're going to kill her in the grass! God, do something!"
I think at this, Durgus would shout out using thaumaturgy to enhance the. Oh, wait, I gotta read if it can make me fucking louder.
It can, I believe. Maybe. Yeah. Actually, that might be prestidigitation.
No, it is.
It is thaumaturgy. Yeah,
it's at the top there.
Yeah, it is. Voice booms up to 3 times as loud.
Right. Now to think of what to fucking say. Right. So he sort of peeks out from the back of her as he sort of booms into the crowd. "She is a wanted criminal. She's murdered 5 people. Now step away, otherwise you'll find others and bloody kill them too."
Give me an intimidation at disadvantage.
For God's sake.
Have you got inspiration?
I do have inspiration.
Use it.
Normal.
That would turn it into a normal roll, yeah?
Right, come on. Give me it, baby. Oh no, I'm not going to say anything. Just
Habibi, did you just say?
Habibi, Habibi.
We need Habibi. Oh, level 14, which is a 13.
For a 13 on intimidation, the crowd stop throwing rocks, but every single face is still furious. They are waiting. You have shouted, they've gone quiet, but they are waiting, and it is like a tide behind a dam.
She's got a huge bounty on her, and we're taking her in. There's no death or anything. She's clearly deranged and trying to stir you up. So just relax. We'll take her to the authorities. No killing here. We're just going to take her back to our ship, and that'll be that.
A voice immediately goes, "What the fuck do you mean authorities your ship? Authorities are up in the Occupy."
No, the authority on the Bounty Hunters Guild.
Someone else then chimes in from the other side. "Why are you dragging her off into the grass then?"
Because we got a mob of lots of people that are encroaching on us.
"Still no writ. Let her go, as I say. She ain't done nothing." The voices are very angry. Not a single one seems to believe you. They still haven't attacked, but they are.
Brandon's going to come forward and still dressed as a guard, and he's going past Baron, just whispered, "Can I have the book?"
Baron would hand over the book.
And is there anyone that's like, there's been a few people talking, is there anyone talking more than the rest?
A couple of them.
Okay, we'll head towards maybe one of them and go, "Look, has anyone been noticing any disappearances lately? There was the things of the orphanage where children were disappearing."
"What are you talking about? No! They're lying! They're trying to distract us!" Immediately, attention goes back to the tabaxi. "Let her go, as we says!" Rocks are being picked up again.
Just hear me out. Look, surely someone here's heard of this.
Brannon, you are pushed to the side. The group gets much closer. They are now within 5 feet.
All right, Geronimo's going to lift the gun up in the air and fire. Upwards.
Okay.
At himself.
Into the bottom of his jaw.
Oh, well, guys, time to go. No, yeah, he fires up into the air.
Everyone freezes, crouches down, and stares to what just happened, including everyone up and down the street. What the fuck was that?
That is
witch.
me. That is me telling you to back the fuck off.
Fucking
my
witch.
Fucking God. Holy Jesus.
Sorry, I didn't hear any of what you said, Alex.
Yeah.
They just called you a witch.
Not again.
A couple
like
more. The murmur goes through other people. Witch.
Is that like a decent accusation in a world where magic actually exists?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah,
no,
like,
pretty fucking common.
Magic surely is. Witchcraft is the accusation of someone using it for malign reasons. And someone pulling that out.
It's a fucking gun, man. It's a tool.
No one knows what a gun is.
No one knows what a gun is. That was part of the
knows what a
backstory
gun is.
established.
Yeah, no one knows what a gun is.
Oh my
This is
God.
completely new. This isn't normal magic.
Geronimo's going to look back to the others and make the suggestion that they start moving. But Geronimo's going to keep gun very close, and he's going to start to back off.
Yeah, I said Dirks is still trying to back off, like even if it means like, oh, there's a crowd entirely around us.
They're not entirely. Like, you've got the tree behind you, so you'd have to climb over that.
I wonder if there's anyone got any spell slots.
But
Yeah.
before any of that, if you are then backing off, with people running down towards you, some away from you, that crowd is going to charge.
For God's sake, man.
Great.
It's like, why do these people care so much, man? It's insane.
Dude, I don't know about you, but have you seen the response to, like... we can talk about this after the session, but I think we have to leave we can leave the session, I think, there with the crowd charging. And I think that's where we're going to leave it. You guys can move to level 5. The fight in the caverns was kind of the mark for level 5, so you guys can absolutely do that. And obviously any hit points you roll onto your maximum go in as full hit points, so they don't go in as empty. And I think that's where we'll call the session. So we will come back to it next week. And before we go raid someone. So as always, we need to go find another D&D channel.